Chapter 1646. The cultivators who were in high spirits suddenly woke up, as if someone had poured a bucket of cold water on their heads. No one dared to approach the collapsed ground anymore. It was as if there was some kind of ferocious beast hidden inside. Once they got close, they would be sucked in. The three cultivators who fell in were all Saint King realm experts. The strongest one had already stepped into the Saint King realm level 8. Everyone calm down. Listen to Master Su An's arrangements, Emoli shouted. Everyone ran to stand behind Su An. No one dared to act rashly. The scene just now was too frightening. When Yiming and Lin Hao still had lingering fears. This is the entrance to the secret realm. However, this array is too powerful. There are many hidden killing arrays inside. Everyone, retreat to the side. I will go and figure out the array first. Su An had already walked towards a collapsed ground. The 4 disciples who came with him followed behind. The 5 of them kept throwing array flags on the ground. No one knew what they were doing. Young hero Qin, where are you going? Qinfen also walked towards the array. He was very interested in this exquisite array. However, when Yiming suddenly stopped him, he didn't know that Qinfen was a hidden array master. Alchemy Monarch Qin, it's better if you don't go. These arrays are very powerful. If you're not careful, you will lose your life. Let the masters from the 7 Stars Monastery break the array. We can't help. Everyone came to persuade Qinfen. They didn't really care about him. They just wanted to use this opportunity to get closer to Qinfen. Qinfen didn't care about everyone's words. He had already walked to the edge of the deep pit. He felt a strange suction force at the bottom of the pit. If he hadn't been prepared, he would have been sucked in. 9 Dragons Array, Qinfen exclaimed in his heart when he saw the array in front of him. The current Qinfen could be considered a master array. He had upgraded the 5 Elements Array to the Heaven and Earth Array in the system. He could barely be considered a level 4 array master. There were records of the 9 Dragons Array in the Heaven and Earth Array. This was a peak level 4 array. There were a total of 9 huge pits in the collapsed ground. They represented the 9 array cores of the 9 Dragon Array. This array formation was actually a great killing array. As long as a cultivator was below the Buddha light stage, they would definitely die if they fell into the array formation. Even a cultivator like Emoli, who was at the Buddha light stage 3, would find it hard to escape if she fell in. However, Qinfen knew the method to break the formation. It required 9 people to jump into the 9 formation eyes at the same time and quickly launch attacks to break the formation. Senior Su, did you notice anything? What kind of formation is this? Isn't it awesome? Has Senior Su thought of a way to break the formation? After waiting for a while, everyone became anxious again. They had found the entrance to the secret realm, but they couldn't go in. One could imagine how they felt. Su An and the 4 disciples he brought with him didn't seem to have done anything, but they were sweating profusely. After searching for a while, they couldn't even find the eye of the formation, let alone a way to break it. Senior Emoli, this formation is much more powerful than I had imagined. I'm afraid we won't be able to break it with just a few of us. Unless we call the great elder of our 7 Stars Monastery over. Su An realized that the formation in front of him was not within his capabilities. Thus, he stopped pretending. Everyone sighed. If that was the case, wouldn't this trip be in vain? Why don't Senior Su send out the sect's secret order and invite your sect's great elder over? Someone suggested. This was immediately rejected by others. This is the fallen god sea. By the time the great elder of the 7 Stars Monastery arrives, it will be too late. There are many cultivators who came to search for treasures this time. If we can't break the formation, we can't stay here for long. We must seal the entrance of the formation to prevent information from leaking out. Everyone discussed their next plan. Emoli's expression had already turned cold. He originally thought that Su An would be able to break the formation and enter the secret realm. He didn't expect this guy to be so useless. After knowing that they couldn't enter the secret realm, Emoli suddenly looked at Qinfen coldly. His thoughts returned to capturing Qinfen. Surnamed Qin, it seems like even the heavens aren't willing to help you. Let's see who dares to stand out and stop me now. Everyone immediately understood Emoli's meaning. Many cultivators secretly retreated. They didn't want to get involved in this mess. Wen Yiming immediately stood beside Qin Feng, looking like he wanted to fight to the death. Lin Hao hesitated for a moment, but he also walked over. Surnamed Lin Brat, since you don't know what's good for you, don't blame me for being ruthless. Emoli coldly snorted. The Lin family disciples were so scared that their legs turned to jelly. Someone tried to persuade Lin Hao, but Lin Hao ignored them. Seeing that this battle was inevitable, the other cultivators retreated further and further. This was a battle between Buddha Light realm experts. The destructive power was unimaginable. Brother Wen, Brother Lin, when the battle starts, the two of you only need to temporarily trap Tu Chi. I will deal with Mo Li alone. Qin Feng whispered to the two of them. Lin Hao's expression changed slightly. Now that he had stepped into the Buddha Light realm, he believed that he was stronger than Qin Feng. Originally, he was thinking of dealing with Mo Li himself. He didn't expect Qin Feng to take the initiative to stand out. Young hero Qin, I'm afraid Mo Li has already stepped into the Buddha Light realm. You're not his opponent. In a while, I will stop him. You find a chance to leave with Brother Wen. I believe that as long as you escape, everything will be fine. The people from the Red Flower Hall won't kill me. Lin Hao voiced his thoughts, but Qin Feng shook his head and refused. Right now, it was no longer a matter of whether the Red Flower Hall spared him or not. Rather, he wouldn't spare the Red Flower Hall. Just do as I say. I have a way to eliminate Mo Li. After Qin Feng finished speaking, he didn't wait for Lin Hao and Wen Yiming to refuse. He flew up and attacked Mo Li. In midair, he slashed with his saber. The several hundred-meter long golden saber Qi instantly fell. That scene stunned the crowd. Fuck! Alchemy Monarch Qin is challenging senior Mo Li alone? Is he courting death? Sigh. Alchemy Monarch Qin's talent is outstanding. Whether it's alchemy or cultivation, it's all smooth sailing. This also made him overly arrogant. Clearly, he doesn't know that there's always someone stronger. Speaking of which, what realm is Senior Mo Li at? I feel that even if all of us join forces, we might not be his match. Once the battle started, the surrounding cultivators were in an uproar. No one was optimistic about Qin Feng. Even when Yiming and Lin Hao weren't optimistic. Seeing Qin Feng make a move, the two of them frowned and immediately attacked Tu Chi. Rumble. Qin Feng's saber had already exploded on the ground, spreading out a huge whirlpool of air. However, Emoli stood at his original position and didn't move. He just slapped his palm lightly toward the top of his head. His body seemed to be enveloped by an invisible barrier. That violent saber, Qi couldn't get close to him. Humph. A mere 9th-level Saint King dares to fight with me. Today, I'll let you see how powerful I am. Emoli's expression was ice-cold. 2 rays of light shot out of his eyes. Chapter 1647. Young hero Qin, are you all right? Brother Qin, let me help you. Seeing this, when Yiming and Lin Hao anxiously shouted, Lin Hao had already flown over and struck Emoli with his palm. The two of them were both supreme Buddha Aura Realm cultivators. When their palms collided, a loud boom resounded. It felt as if the entire island was shaking. In a violent explosion, Lin Hao directly flew backwards and fell to the ground. He looked at Emoli, who only took 3 steps back before stabilizing himself. His face was rosy, as if nothing had happened to him. Didn't the Xinyuan Lin clan's eldest senior brother step into the Buddha Light realm? Why are you so weak? How is it that Lin Hao can't even withstand a single blow? It's that Senior Mo Li is too powerful. The two of them are simply not on the same level. Sigh. Looks like Pill King Qin is dead for sure this time. Such a young Pill King. What a pity. The crowd was abuzz with discussion. They only dared to watch the show from afar. No one came up to stop the fight. Qin Feng and Lin Hao were injured and were sitting cross-legged to adjust their breathing. Wen Yiming was no match for him at all. Soon, he was sent flying to an open space further away. Brother Qin, we can't beat Red Flower Hall. Let's just follow my plan. In a while, find an opportunity to escape with Brother Wen, Lin Hao said in a low voice. Qin Feng was completely infuriated by Mo Li and Tu Chi. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. Brother Lin, you should deal with Tu Chi later. Don't help me. I have my own ways to destroy Mo Li. Lin Hao was speechless. Who knew where Qin Feng got his confidence from? That Mo Li was a supremacy of the Buddha aura's 3 transformations. Even she couldn't withstand a single move from him. If Qin Feng went, he would only be sending himself to his death. Brother Qin, Lin Hao still wanted to persuade him, but Qin Feng interrupted him and said, "There's no need to say more. Just follow my plan." As soon as he finished speaking, Qin Feng had already summoned his flying sword to attack Mo Li. Lin Hao helplessly shook his head and circulated his aura to resist Tu Chi. Lin Hao and Tu Chi's Buddhist light changed, and the two of them were evenly matched for a while. On Qin Feng's side, there was no suspense at all. Mo Li completely had the upper hand, and Qin Feng was sent flying from time to time. "Humph! You brat. You really are an unkillable cockroach. Let's see if you can survive this time." Mo Li leaped across a distance of several dozen meters. With a wave of her sleeve, a pink sword light shot out from her cuff. The flying sword was extremely fast and arrived in front of Qin Feng in the blink of an eye. As soon as Qin Feng landed on the ground, he retreated while coughing up blood. Bang, bang, bang. The flying sword seemed to have eyes and chased after Qin Feng. The ground behind him continued to explode, filling the air with dust and gravel. "Qin brat, didn't you say that you wanted to kill me? Don't run if you have the guts." Mo Li chased after Qin Feng with a smile on her face. He deliberately didn't want to kill Qin Feng directly. Instead, he continuously injured Qin Feng and put him in a difficult situation. As the two of them chased after each other, they unknowingly arrived at the 9 Dragons' Great Array. However, Mo Li didn't understand formations at all, so she hadn't realized the hidden dangers until now. "You want to die? Naturally, I'll fulfill your wish." Qin Feng, who had been fleeing all along, suddenly stopped. He leaned to the side and dodged the flying sword that was speeding towards him. The flying sword didn't continue to attack and hovered above Mo Li's head. The smile on Mo Li's face disappeared, and a hint of panic flashed in his eyes. However, he pretended to be calm and roared, "Stinking brat, don't play tricks here. Do you think I'm scared?" Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, he struck out with his palm. This palm strike didn't hold back at all. The air in front of him instantly exploded, forming a hurricane vortex that shot towards Qin Feng. Cries of alarm came from the crowd, and the surrounding cultivators couldn't help but retreat dozens of steps. Just as the whirlwind was about to sweep Qin Feng away, there was a loud explosion. It was as if there was an invisible air barrier in front of Qin Feng, blocking the violent airflow. "Huh? What's going on?" Mo Li's expression changed, and he hurriedly struck out with his palm again. A loud sound shook the sky, and Mo Li's strength completely stunned the crowd. However, in the next moment, everyone's eyes were filled with shock. This palm strike stopped 1 meter in front of Qin Feng, and it couldn't break through the air barrier no matter what. "What's going on? Brat, you dare to play dirty?" Mo Li, who had been as calm as water, began to panic. He tried to leave, but he found that the air around him seemed to be blocked by layers of air, and he couldn't break through. Bang, bang, bang. Mo Li started to attack in all directions, and loud sounds rang out continuously. However, those attacks were all swallowed by the air barrier in the end, and this gave Mo Li a bad feeling. "Mo Li, I said that I'm going to kill you here today. I'm not joking." Qin Feng, who had been silent for a long time, suddenly spoke. While Mo Li was crazily striking out with his palm, he was secretly setting up a formation. When Qin Feng discovered the 9 Dragons formation, he wanted to use this ready-made peak level 4 formation to deal with Mo Li. At this time, Mo Li was trapped by the level 4 trapping formation. Qin Feng casually threw out a few formation flags, and the killing formation in the trapping formation was activated. Countless sword chi shot out from the formation, filling up the space of the formation. "What is this? Brat, hurry up and let me out." Mo Li panicked. The attacks in the killing formation were too dense, and he couldn't dodge at all. Countless sword chi landed on Mo Li's body, and loud sounds rang out. However, This killing formation was a level 3 killing formation, and its power was still a bit lacking. It wasn't realistic to want to kill a cultivator of the 3 transformations of Buddha aura. However, Qin Feng didn't plan to use the level 3 killing formation to kill Mo Li. The reason why he activated the killing formation was to make Mo Li panic. Seeing that the time was right, Qin Feng slightly moved his mind, and thunder suddenly roared in the sky. A black lightning net fell from the sky. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The Star Saint Thousand Threads lightning net was originally only the size of a palm, but it became bigger and bigger as it fell. When it landed, it had expanded to dozens of square meters, and it just happened to cover the entire formation. The lightning net crisscrossed and fell on Mo Li's body with crackling sounds. This kind of lightning attack was very powerful, and even Mo Li couldn't withstand it. You with the surname Qin, you dare to trick me? Hurry up and let me out, and I can spare your life. Mo Li shouted in panic in the formation. He crazily attacked, trying to break through the formation's barrier. However, how could a level 4 trapping formation be broken in such a short time? The crowd was stunned. No one thought that the situation would become like this. Senior Mo Li is trapped? How did Pill King Qin do it? That black lightning net is too terrifying. It's definitely a top-grade magic treasure. Looking at this situation, Senior Mo Li is going to be killed? It's really unbelievable. Wen Yiming, who had fallen in the distance, was also stunned. He didn't expect Qin Feng to have such a powerful trump card. Tu Chi and Lin Hao had stopped fighting, and they looked at the situation on the other side of the lightning net with shock. Chapter 1648. At the crucial moment, Mo Li thought of Suen. This person was a level 3 formation master and clearly had a way to break the trap formation. Suen abruptly woke up. He was stunned by the fight in front of him. Especially when the level 4 trap formation was activated, his eyes were filled with disbelief. He didn't know what was going on. Surname Su, what are you spacing out for? If you don't save my senior brother Mo Li today, I won't forgive you. Tu Chi glared and threatened Suen Lin Hao thrust his sword towards him. Tu Chi, your opponent is me. Don't worry about other things. The two of them started fighting without saying a word. The other Red Flower Hall disciples and the Lin family disciples also started fighting. Suen stood stupidly on the ground and didn't know what to do. Mo Li's roar came over. Surname Su, what are you spacing out for? Hurry and break the formation for your elder. Don't think about running away. The Red Flower Hall knows that we came here as a team. If I really die here, the Red Flower Hall will definitely cause trouble for your 7-star temple. Su An's hesitant expression disappeared. He realized that Mo Li really couldn't die here. Alchemy King Qin, please stop. Suen stood in the distance and yelled. Qin Feng didn't even bother to look at him. He waved the spirit sword in his hand and used the 1,000-thread/sword technique he learned from equal to Heaven Sex Chi Ho. Instantly, thousands of sword rays crisscrossed like spider silk and covered the entire trap formation space. Rumble. The long sword in Qin Feng's hand became a golden blade. As he waved it, the shadowless blade technique exploded. The trap formation couldn't see the shadow of the blade, but one could hear the fierce sound of blade chi exploding. Combined with the thunder of the 1,000-thread lightning net, it was as if the space was going to be destroyed. Surname Qin, are you really going to kill me? Aren't you afraid of the Red Flower Hall taking revenge on you? Mo Li cried out in pain. It looked like he wouldn't be able to hold on much longer. You don't need to use the Red Flower Hall to threaten me. Today, either you die or I die. Qin Feng's voice was ice cold. At this moment, no one doubted that he really wanted to kill Mo Li. Mo Li panicked and yelled at Suen, Surname Su, hurry up. Otherwise, even if I die, I'll drag you down with me. Suen had already made his move. He constantly threw out array flags, and from time to time, he would attack the array core. But after busying himself for half a day, Suen was so anxious that he was sweating profusely. He discovered that this was actually a level 4 trap array. How could an array master like him, who had just stepped into the 3rd level, break it? Suen was still a little puzzled in his heart. He did not know how this level 4 entrapment array appeared. He wouldn't believe that Qin Feng was the one who activated the trap formation. Even he couldn't activate this formation, so what could Qin Feng do? Senior Mo Li, this is a level 4 trap array. I can't break it at all. Sun tried his best to explain. He was deeply afraid that the people from the Red Flower Hall would think that he was lying and deliberately left them to die. It was unknown how many times Mo Li had been struck by the sword chi and lightning bolts. The aura within her body was in complete chaos, and her body was a bloody mess. I don't care what method you use. You must stop that surnamed Qin. Otherwise, you will go to hell with me. Mo Li roared like a madman. He never thought that he would be forced into such a state by Qin Feng. Pill King Qin, we are all cultivators of the North Sands region. We will have to meet again in the future. Please show mercy and let Senior Mo Li go. Sun was at his wit's end. He couldn't break the confinement formation at all, so he began to persuade him verbally. Qin Feng's expression turned cold. He glared at him and said, "This is a matter between me and the Red Flower Hall. Your 7 Stars Monastery had better not get involved. Otherwise, you'll have to bear the consequences." Sun immediately felt displeased. The 7 Stars Monastery was a 5-star sect in the Northern Sand region. Moreover, it was an array sect. Perhaps the title of Pill King was high and mighty in other people's eyes, but Sun didn't think much of it. To be honest, the Divine Continent's formation masters were more prestigious than alchemists. Qin Feng, don't refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. If you don't stop, don't blame me for being impolite. Su's expression changed, and he was incomparably sinister. Qin Feng's sword didn't stop moving. Without looking at Sun, he said, "If you want to come, then come. Don't be so wishy-washy. Qin, you really don't know the immensity of heaven and earth." Rumble. Sun leaped forward and threw a punch in midair. Qin Feng was already prepared. With a sidestep, he leaped more than 10 meters away, dodging the ferocious fist energy. This punch missed and hit the array. The ferocious fist energy exploded on Mo Li's body, causing him to vomit blood. Cough, cough. Sun, are you fucking blind? Did you do it on purpose? Mo Li cursed angrily. His voice was clearly much weaker than before. It seemed like he couldn't hold on for much longer. Sun was shocked. He didn't explain and threw another punch at Qin Feng. Stinking brat. I've been at the peak of the 9th level Saint King for many years. You're still not my opponent. Seeing that the huge fist energy was about to explode in front of him, a cold smile flashed across Qin Feng's eyes. His figure flashed, and he suddenly disappeared from where he stood. A loud sound exploded on the ground, and a huge pit immediately collapsed. Whether we're opponents or not is not up to you to decide. Rumble. A cold voice came from behind Su's expression changed drastically. Chapter 1649. Qin Feng's expression turned cold, and he casually stabbed. Sword hums filled the air. The 7-star monastery disciples' expressions changed. They felt the danger of death, but they couldn't even see where the sword chi was. Stab, stab, stab. The sound of skin being cut rose and fell. The 4 7-star monastery disciples were cut into pieces. They didn't even know what happened before they died. Qin, you dare kill my 7-star monastery's disciples? I'll tear you to pieces. Seeing his junior brother's miserable state, Sun was furious. Qin Feng didn't care at all. With a thought, the huge black lightning net flashed, and his attacks instantly increased. Rumble. The lightning fell, and Mo Li and Sun jumped on the ground. You idiot, stop shouting. Even if you want to die, don't drag me with you. Mo Li was furious and started scolding. Sun finally realized that he was in Qin Feng's hands. His arrogant aura disappeared. Alchemy Monarch Qin, let's talk this out. There's no need to fight to the death, right? Sun's tone softened. Mo Li also wanted to ask for peace, but she couldn't bring herself to do so. She hoped that Sun could persuade Qin Feng. However, Qin Feng didn't seem to hear her. He had no intention of reconciling. His attacks didn't stop, and they even became fiercer. Sun panicked. Alchemy Monarch Qin, I was wrong before. I shouldn't have hit you when you were in danger. I'm willing to return the origin dissipation pill you gave me. In the future, Alchemy Monarch Qin and our 7-star monastery will be good friends. Suin said whatever he thought at the moment of life and death. As for whether these were his true thoughts, only he knew. Huh, do you think I care about a mere origin dissipation pill? If you want it so much, then keep it, Qin Feng shouted coldly. His words made Suin panic. Alchemy Monarch Qin, I shouldn't have allied with the Red Flower Hall to deal with you. I really know my mistake. Please let me out. I'll immediately help you eliminate the Red Flower Hall. Without needing Qin Feng to speak, Emoli was instantly enraged. Surnamed Su, are you tired of living? We're on the same boat. Don't think that guy will let you go. You should think of a way to break the formation. If Suin could break the formation, he would have done so long ago. It was precisely because he discovered that this formation could not be broken that he was forced to submit. He completely ignored Mo Li's shouts. All he could see was Qin Feng. Pill King Qin, are you going to let me go or not? Qin Feng's expression changed slightly. He thought to himself, don't waste your breath. You will all die today. Suin seemed to have shed all pretense of cordiality as he roared. Qin Feng, this is the formation at the entrance of the secret realm. Actually, I've already seen through the formation and can enter the secret realm at any time. The reason why I didn't say anything earlier was because I wanted to trick everyone into leaving and then enter the secret realm on my own. If you let me go now, I promise to bring you into the pocket dimension. If you kill me, you can forget about ever entering the pocket dimension. Qin Feng sneered inwardly. So this was Su An's final trump card. Even if Qin Feng hadn't seen through the Great Nine Dragon formation, he wouldn't have let Su An and Emoli stay. These two people already had murderous intent toward him, so leaving them alive would definitely be a hidden danger. You talk too much nonsense. Go to hell. Qin Feng's sword stabbed forward, using the 1,000-thread slash sword technique. Sword light crisscrossed and condensed like spider silk, instantly trapping Suin in place. At the same time, the black lightning net flickered and suddenly condensed, turning into a dazzling ball of light that hung above Suin's head. A strong aura of death enveloped him, causing Suin to cry out involuntarily in fright. Qin Feng, why you can't kill me? Pill King Qin, please spare this little brother's life. The cultivators who'd been watching the show from afar actually jumped out at this time. Pill King Qin, please have mercy. Suin can't die. Otherwise, no one will be able to enter the secret realm. Pill King Qin, if you don't stop now, don't blame us for being impolite. So these people had all stepped forward to enter the secret realm. They'd expended so much effort to find the entrance to the secret realm. If they really couldn't enter, then wouldn't that be a waste of effort? Lin Hao had already rushed over with the Lin family disciples, standing guard at Qin Feng's side. Wen Yiming also wanted to come over and help, but after being sent flying by Tu Chi's palm, he couldn't muster up any strength even after so long. Rumble. A huge thunder suddenly exploded. Qin Feng didn't pay any attention to the cultivators rushing over. With a thought, Suin was blasted into pieces of flesh and blood. Not even his figure could be seen. Pill King Qin, you oh no. We really can't enter the secret realm now. Everyone felt a wave of despair. Seeing Suin die, they immediately withdrew their attacks. There was clearly no need to oppose Qin Feng now. Qin Feng ignored those people. After killing Suin, he gathered his thoughts again. The dazzling ball of white lightning appeared again, hovering above Mo Li's head. Even with his Buddhist Aura 3 transformations, Mo Li broke out in a cold sweat. He believed that if he was hit by this ball of lightning, he would die without a doubt. Qin, you dare! Tu Chi shouted anxiously, but before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted by an earth-shattering explosion. The ball of lightning rapidly descended, and a violent airflow swept through the entire killing formation. Mo Li screamed in pain, and his figure was no longer intact. Hiss! The crowd sucked in a breath of cold air, their expressions filled with shock. No one would have thought that the final victor of this battle would be Qin Feng. Not only did Qin Feng kill Mo Li, but he also killed 7-star monastery Su and Ayaya. You dared to kill senior brother Mo Li. I'll make you die a horrible death. Mo Li was killed, and the Red Flower Hall disciples went completely crazy. Under Tu Chi's lead, a group of 5 people shot over and launched a fierce attack on Qin Feng at the same time. With me, Lin Hao here, who dares to harm Pil King Qin? Lin Hao had already rushed over and pointed his sword at Tu Chi. The other 4 landed beside Qin Feng, but their strength was too low. Qin Feng didn't even need a trap formation. After a few slashes, all 4 of them died. Seeing this, Tu Chi's heart sank, and he quickly regained his senses. Even senior brother Mo Li was killed by Qin Feng. How could he, a mere Buddhist aura 3 transformations, be Qin Feng's match? Tu Chi, will remember today's grudge. I will definitely take revenge in the future. Tu Chi purposely took Lin Hao's palm and borrowed the force to instantly shoot out. In midair, a pink light flashed, and he fled on his flying sword. Brother Lin, don't chase, you can't catch up. Qin Feng stopped Lin Hao. Just as he finished speaking, he couldn't help but spit out a few mouthfuls of blood. Just now, his battle with Mo Li and Suan exhausted his inner chi, and activating Star Saint Thousand Threaded Lightning net consumed a lot of spiritual power. If the 2 of them had held on for a while longer, the one killed now would probably be Qin Feng. Brother Qin, you're injured? Are you all right? Lin Hao helped Qin Feng sit down. Qin Feng casually threw a handful of medicinal pills into his mouth. This scene stunned Lin Hao, and he thought to himself, is this an elixir king? He doesn't take medicinal pills seriously at all. Chapter 1650. Qin Feng's words caused a huge uproar. The cultivators started discussing fervently. What did Pil King Qin just say? He can lead everyone in breaking the formation? Oh my god, not only is Pil King Qin a Pil King, he's also at the peak of Saint King level 9. Is he also a formation master? When did such a powerful person appear in the North Sand continent? Why haven't I heard of Qin Feng before? Which sect is he from? Even Lin Hao and Wen Yiming were shocked by Qin Feng's words, much less these cultivators. Others might not understand Qin Feng, but the 2 of them knew very well that Qin Feng never boasted. No one dared to disturb Qin Feng's recuperation. After waiting for half an hour, Qin Feng put away his technique and slowly stood up. He was heavily injured earlier, but now his eyes were bright and his complexion was rosy. It was impossible to tell that he had gone through a life and death battle. This was all thanks to the creation manual. Brother Qin, why you're healed? Lin Hao was speechless. Seeing Pil King Qin stand up, the cultivators all surrounded him, shocked by his recovery speed. Qin Feng didn't mention the creation chapter. He looked at the Great 9 Dragons formation and said, everyone came here to enter the secret land, and I have a way to break this Great 9 Dragons formation. If everyone trusts me, then listen to my arrangements. If not, you can leave now. After waiting for a while, not a single disciple left. In order to enter the secret realm, they had even jumped out to oppose Qin Feng not long ago. Why would they leave now? Pil King Qin, sorry for offending you earlier. I hope you can lead everyone to explore the secret realm. If we knew Pil King Qin had a way, our Sword Spirit sect definitely wouldn't have opposed you. Pil King Qin, everyone will listen to you. Whatever you say, everyone express their opinions. Qin Feng nodded in satisfaction. He had already walked to the side of a 9 Dragons formation. The other cultivators carefully followed behind him. Not long ago, a few cultivators ran to the edge of these huge pits and were sucked in. Even now, it was unknown if they were dead or alive. Pil King Qin, these collapsed pits are a bit strange. Let's stand further away. A cultivator reminded. Qin Feng ignored them. He was focused on throwing formation flags in all directions. Rise! He suddenly shouted. The array flags that had fallen to the ground floated in the air, forming a strange pattern. At this time, there was a violent shaking under everyone's feet. There seemed to be some movement in the 9 pits. Not good. The crater might collapse again. Everyone, retreat quickly. Many cowardly cultivators began to retreat, deeply afraid that they would be sucked into a black hole. However, there were also people who saw that Qin Feng was still standing in his original spot, so they gathered their courage and stood behind Qin Feng. Eh, everyone look. Giant stone steps have emerged from each of the 9 pits. Someone cried out in alarm. There really are stone steps. Could it be that Pil King Chin broke through the formation? The cultivator who retreated earlier ran back. When he saw the stone steps appear, his eyes lit up. Chin Fen was already standing with his hands behind his back. The 9 stone steps were finally suspended at the entrance of the cave. Together, they looked like the image of a giant, spiraling dragon. Don't worry, everyone. I've already found the 9 formation cores of this 9 dragons formation. If we want to break this formation, we'll need to split into 9 teams and jump onto the stone steps at the same time to attack. The overall strength of the 9 teams must be the same. Only by breaking through all 9 formations at the same time can the 9 dragons formation be broken. Chin Fen explained patiently. Everyone listened with great awe. At first, there were people who were skeptical about Chin Fen breaking the formation. But now that Chin Fen had found all 9 formation cores, everyone firmly believed in him. All right, let's quickly split into teams. Pil King Chin wouldn't lie to everyone. The overall attack power of the teams should be similar. Don't hide your true realm. The crowd was even more anxious than Chin Fen. They began to split up noisily. Chin Fen didn't care how the others split up. He pulled Wen Yiming and Lin Hao into a team. As for the other 4 disciples of the Lin family, they naturally stood in this team as well. Actually, there was one thing Chin Fen didn't say clearly. This 9 dragons formation was made up of 9 transportation formations. In other words, once the formation was broken, everyone would be transported to different locations. Only cultivators on the same stone steps would be transported together. Soon, the 9 teams were divided. Each team had 2 Saint King level 9 cultivators overseeing it, with some disciples of different realms assisting them. Pil King Chin, is this okay? Someone asked anxiously. Chin Fen swept his gaze over the 9 teams one by one. With his current strength, he was the strongest existence in the crowd. He could tell the true realm of the other cultivators with a single glance. When he was done, he relaxed when he saw that the 9 teams were of similar strength. There's no problem with splitting up. I'll count to 3, then everyone jump onto different stone steps and attack with all your might. Is there a problem? Chin Fen shouted. No, the crowd said in unison. Chin Fen had already counted down. Everyone's hearts were about to jump out of their throats. When the number 3 left Chin Fen's mouth, the cultivators all rushed to the stone steps on their flying swords. Ah, not good. There's a powerful suction force at the bottom of this giant pit. I've been sucked in. Pil King Chin, what do we do now? Don't screw us over. Junior brother Zhang Chao, are you all right? A situation occurred as soon as they stepped onto the stone steps. Many cultivators of lower realms were directly sucked into the deep pit. The bottom of the pit was so dark that it was impossible to see the cultivators' figures. It was impossible to tell whether they were dead or alive. Wen Yiming also felt the powerful suction force as soon as he arrived. If not for Chin Fen pulling him back, he would have fallen into the pit as well. Chin Fen didn't dare delay. He grabbed Wen Yiming with one hand and slammed several palms into the pit with the other. Rumble. There was a loud explosion. There seemed to be an invisible barrier at the bottom of the pit. When Chin Fen's palms landed, they were blocked halfway down the pit. Everyone, don't just stand there. Attack the pit quickly. That suction force is the formation eye's energy. Only by destroying the formation eye will the suction force disappear. After Chin Fen explained the reason, everyone came to a sudden realization. Without a care for the consequences, they attacked the bottom of the pit like madmen. Bang, bang, bang. Explosions rang out everywhere. The 9-dragon formation was filled with saber light and sword shadows. After this round of attacks, many were pleasantly surprised to find that the suction force beneath their feet had weakened quite a bit. Brother Chin, the formation eye's energy is immense. I wonder if we can break it? Lin Hao wasn't as optimistic as the others. His strength was on par with Chin Fen's, so he could see further than the other cultivators. The formation he was in was incomparably strong, as if it couldn't be penetrated. Chapter 1651. Chin Feng had already thought of Lin Hao's worries. Judging from Chin Feng's expression, he didn't seem to care about it. Brother Lin's worries do exist, but with me here, they don't exist. I have many pills on me. If everyone's inner chi is severely depleted, I can provide pills to help everyone recover quickly. Lin Hao's eyes lit up. He almost forgot about Pill King Qin Feng's identity. With Qin Feng's guarantee, he was no longer afraid. The spirit's sword in his hand slashed down continuously. Rumble. The ferocious attacks never stopped. In the blink of an eye, it was already late at night. Under the night sky, the island's forest was dark and quiet. However, Qin Feng's movements were so loud that the beasts and cultivators passing by didn't dare to approach. Pill King Qin, this won't do. I've exhausted most of my inner chi, and the formation, it doesn't seem to be moving. We can't continue like this. What Lin Hao was worried about in the afternoon was happening. When that cultivator complained, almost all the cultivators started to think about this problem. Qin Feng and Lin Hao looked at each other and smiled. Suddenly, dozens of jade bottles flew out, giving the cultivators a fright. What is this? Pill King Qin, it seems there's a sneak attack. What should we do? Qin Feng was amused by everyone's nervous expressions. He said indifferently, "Don't be afraid, everyone. The jade bottles contain pills for recovering blood and qi. Take them and continue attacking the formation eye. If I'm not wrong, we can break the formation tomorrow afternoon." The cultivators shouted excitedly. These were pills provided by Pill King Qin. The quality and level couldn't be too bad. They already had great expectations, but when they opened the jade bottles, they were still shocked. "Damn, Pill King Qin, did you give the wrong ones? There's a bottle of golden sage pills here. Mine is a golden spirit pill. This is a true essence pill? That's a level 2 6th grade golden pill. Pill King Qin is so generous." The crowd was truly shocked. They thought that even if Qin Feng was a pill king, he would be very generous to take out a level 4 spirit pill for free. Who would have thought that the lowest level pill in the jade bottles was a level 1 6th grade golden pill? Brother Qin, isn't this too wasteful? Lin Hao's heart ached when he saw this. He thought to himself how good it would be if these medicinal pills were given to him. Qin Feng naturally understood what he was thinking. He patted him on the shoulder and said with a smile, "Brother Lin, don't worry. I have a lot of golden elixirs. After we break through the formation and enter the secret realm, I'll give you some king elixirs. I won't treat you badly." Lin Hao was so excited that he wanted to cry out. Before he met Qin Feng, he never even thought about Wang Dan. It was also at this moment that Lin Hao deeply experienced the benefits of knowing an alchemy king as a friend. He was deeply grateful for his decision to stand on Qin Feng's side. "We're all good brothers. Brother Qin, you're treating me like an outsider. Let's continue breaking the array." Lin Hao immediately became spirited. The long sword in his hand continuously swung down. After the other cultivators ate the pills, their inner chi quickly recovered, and they began a new round of fierce attacks. In the blink of an eye, the night passed. During this period, not a single cultivator slacked off or rested. The arcane realm was a place that everyone longed to enter, so they didn't dare to be negligent. Just as Qin Feng predicted, the formation showed signs of loosening at noon. It's getting weaker. My formation eye is getting weaker. Alchemy King Qin, our formation eye is also loosening. Are we going to break the formation? The 9 teams felt the formation eye under the stone steps loosening one after another. The cultivators were overjoyed. Qin Feng was also a little excited, but he quickly calmed down. "Everyone, don't panic. This is the most crucial time to break the formation. If we're not careful, all our previous efforts will go to waste." Qin Feng's words quickly calmed everyone down. He continued, "This 9-dragon formation is very particular. We must break through all 9 formations at the same time. Otherwise, we'll activate the hidden killing and trapping formations. When that happens, no one will be able to leave alive." These words made everyone's hearts clench. A few timid cultivators were sweating all over. "Alchemy King Qin, what should we do? We don't want to die." Everyone was anxious. Their attacks began to get messy. Qin Feng hurriedly shouted, "Each team is led by a 9th level Saint King cultivator. You'll be able to feel the formation eye's energy more clearly. When the formation eye is completely loosened, lead your team members to launch an all-out attack. Everyone hurriedly did as Qin Fen said. A few teams' attacks slowed down, while a few teams' attacks intensified. Qin Fen and Lin Hao simply stopped their attacks. Only when Yiming and the Lin family's early-stage Saint King cultivators continued to attack. After a while, cultivators' shouts could be heard. Alchemy King Qin, the formation eye on my side is about to break. Mine is almost there. We just need to launch another all-out attack, and we'll be able to break it. And it was already the crucial time to break the formation. Everyone's hearts were in their throats. Qin Fen suddenly shouted, "Attack with all your might. Break the formation." Rumble. In an instant, the cultivators of the 9 teams unleashed their full power without holding back. Saber light and sword shadows fell like rain. The 9 stone steps suddenly exploded. Everyone felt the ground beneath their feet lighten as they fell into a bottomless abyss. "Brother Qin, what's going on? Don't tell me we failed to break the formation?" Lin Hao shouted anxiously, when Yiming and the Lin family disciples were also shouting. As for the other cultivators in the formation, they couldn't hear them at all. Qin Fen frowned. Even he couldn't understand this sudden situation. However, after they fell for a long time, the scene in front of them suddenly changed. They arrived in a lush medicinal garden. "Brother Qin, Brother Wen, junior brothers, is everyone all right?" Lin Hao's voice sounded in their ears. When Yiming shouted, "I'm fine. How is young hero Qin?" "I'm fine too." Qin Fen was looking around. Then he said, "Looks like we've successfully broken the 9-dragon formation and been transported to the secret realm." Everyone looked around and was instantly stunned by the scene in front of them. This was no longer the island forest they were in before. In front of them was a vast manor. The land was planted with all kinds of spirit herbs and spirit plants. The spirit energy in the medicinal garden was rich. Just taking a breath would make one feel refreshed. Star-curved grass, 100 leaves grass, small spirit fruit, scarlet flower. The Lin family disciples exclaimed, calling out a string of spirit herbs. However, these 4 people's knowledge was limited. They could only recognize spirit herbs that were used to refine pills below grade 4. Lin Hao shouted, 5 flowers and grass, golden leaves grass, giant spirit fruit, purple gold vine, 100-year spirit worm grass. We've struck it rich, Brother Qin. Although he did not recognize these spiritual herbs, he knew that they were all precious herbs for alchemy. Qin Fen wanted to enter the herb garden to pick herbs more than anyone else, but he knew that he needed to remain calm at this time. He walked to the edge of the herb garden and found something fishy after circling around. After casually throwing a few array flags, the air around the herb garden suddenly fluctuated, and a layer of pale purple array barrier emerged. Brother Qin, there's also an array formation here? Lin Hao guessed. Qin Fen nodded and said, there's indeed an array around the medicine garden, and it's even an overlapping array. There are spirit gathering arrays, trapping arrays, killing arrays, and defense arrays. Previously, those 4 brothers accidentally touched the killing arrays and were instantly killed. At the mention of his junior brothers, grief appeared in Lin Hao's eyes. One Yiming asked, young hero Qin, let's break the array formation. Qin Fen forced a smile and said, the array formation here is a 4th-level array formation, especially the defense array, which is very powerful. The array formation absorbs the spiritual energy of the spiritual grasses and spiritual plants in the herb garden and continuously consolidates it. At the same time, the spirit gathering array can absorb the spiritual energy of the outside world and transfer into the array formation, creating a virtuous cycle. Let alone the 3 of us. Even if those cultivators came here, they still wouldn't be able to break the array formation here. When Yiming and Lin Hao looked worried, seeing a large pile of spiritual grasses and spiritual plants in front of them, yet they couldn't get their hands on them, it was a very uncomfortable feeling. Qin Fen, however, had already put aside the matter of the herbs. He was interested in the array formation in this secret territory. Whether it was the 9 Dragons Great Array or the Great Array in the herb garden, The array formation technique was very exquisite. It could be seen that the person who set up the array was very skilled. Since there was an array formation in this secret territory, it meant that the spiritual grasses in this herb garden were not wild, but were deliberately planted here by someone. To be able to plant herbs in this secret territory, how powerful was this person? Young Hero Chin, since we can only look at this herb garden and not take it, why don't we go somewhere else to take a look? When Yiming said, Qin Feng and Lin Hao nodded in agreement. This secret territory seemed to be quite big. They might be able to find other treasures. The spiritual energy in the secret territory was extremely dense. It was several times denser than the island in the Fallen God Sea. When Yiming and Lin Hao circulated their cultivation techniques as they walked, even Qin Feng sighed in his heart. The density of the spiritual energy here was actually comparable to the density of the astral space that he had created. Brother Qin, there are people in front. Lin Hao suddenly stopped, his expression turning vigilant. When Yiming took out the long sword on his back and assumed an attacking stance at any time, Qin Feng also looked over. 100 meters away, there was a group of men dressed in white robes. These people were dressed in the same uniform. They were obviously from the same sect. However, Qin Feng couldn't recognize the sect that the uniform represented. Even Lin Hao had never seen it before. Strange, I've stayed in the northern Sand region for so long, but this is the first time I've seen this kind of sect emblem. It shouldn't be very famous. Lin Hao muttered. Qin Feng shook his head and said, the 6 of them are all Saint King realm cultivators. The man in the lead has already stepped into the peak of Saint King level 9. This formation is clearly a disciple of a 5-star sect. Lin Hao also noticed the situation and was even more puzzled. I know all the 5-star sects and families in the northern Sand region, but I've never seen their uniforms before. I am a disciple of the Thousand Swords sect from the South Flat Continent, Qishun. May I know where the brothers in front of us are from? Just as Qin Feng and the other 2 were hesitating, the cultivator in front of them spoke. Instantly, their expressions changed. It was actually a cultivator from the South Flat Continent. I am a cultivator from the North Sand region, Qin Feng. Qin Feng was already striding over. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming were slightly worried, but they still followed quickly. Seeing Qin Feng and the other 2 coming over, the disciples of the Thousand Swords sect became vigilant. A few of them had already grabbed the long swords on their backs. Brothers, don't worry. We have no ill intentions. We just happened to pass by this place. Qin Feng hurriedly explained. Actually, he wasn't afraid of the 6 people from the Thousand Swords sect, but he never expected to meet cultivators from the South Flat Continent in the secret territory. If that was the case, there might be cultivators from the Eastfield Continent and the West Sea Continent here. Now that he was looking for the whereabouts of his mother and Li Shanshan, he could ask these people about it. So, it's a cultivator from the North Sand region. Nice to meet you. Qishun cupped his fists towards Qin Feng and the other 2, but a hint of disdain flashed in his eyes. In the Divine Continent, the North Sand region had the least spiritual energy, and the cultivators from the North Sand region were looked down upon by the cultivators from the other 3 continents. Chapter 1653. After the 2 sides greeted each other, they left. Alshun cupped his fists and said, since everyone is just passing by, we will take our leave first. The Thousand Swords sect people looked down on Qin Feng and the others from the bottom of their hearts, just because they were from a North Sand continent. This attitude made Lin Hao and Wen Yiming very unhappy. They didn't want to waste words with this group of people. However, Qin Feng couldn't let them go. He had to find out more about the situation in the South Flat Continent. Brothers, don't be in a hurry to leave. I have some pills here. Do you need them? Qin Feng casually took out a few J bottles. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming were confused. Young Hero Qin, why are you giving them pills? Brother Qin, these people are looking down on us just because they are from the South Flat Continent. Just ignore them. Qin Feng didn't care about their words. Actually, he wasn't satisfied with the attitude of the Thousand Swords sect disciples. However, compared to finding his lost friends and family, this was nothing. No need. We are in a hurry to leave. Unexpectedly, Alshin didn't appreciate it at all. He didn't even look at the pills and turned to leave. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming were furious and started cursing. Oomph. This is the South Flat Continent cultivator? He can't even recognize top-grade pills. Where did his confidence come from? That's good. We can keep such good pills for ourselves. Alshan suddenly stopped halfway. The group turned and looked at him with disdain. I'm sorry. Top-grade pills in the eyes of you North Sand Continent cultivators are trash to us South Flat Continent cultivators. What did you say? Say it again if you dare. Lin Hao's body suddenly emitted a strong aura. He looked like he was going to attack at any moment. What? You can't even let me speak the truth? You are indeed the most primitive continent in the Divine Supreme Continent. Spiritual chi is sparse, and the cultivator's realms and horizons are the lowest. Everything is treated as a treasure. How pitiful and laughable. Alshan's high and mighty attitude made people feel disgusted. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming couldn't hold it in anymore. They drew their swords and were about to attack. Brothers, don't be anxious. I will take care of this. Qin Feng hurriedly stopped the two and looked at Al Shan indifferently. Oh, I wonder what kind of pills do you South Flat Continent cultivators use to cultivate? How can you be so arrogant? Actually, Qin Feng was a little uncertain. He didn't understand the situation in the South Flat Continent. Could it be that there were as many alchemists there as dogs? Cultivators use king elixirs and above to cultivate. However, Al Shan sneered and said, I'm not boasting, but in our South Flat Continent, even the lowest level cultivators consume grade 3 spirit pills, while ordinary itinerant cultivators consume grade 4 spirit pills. Disciples of sects like us will only consume 5th grade spirit pills. Sometimes we even consume 6th grade golden pills. Now you know the difference between us, right? I didn't want to slap your faces, but you guys just had to stretch your hands out for us to slap. What a joke. The more Al Shan spoke, the more excited he became. The disciples behind him also had playful looks on their faces. Qin Feng and the other two were stunned. Wen Yiming and Lin Hao couldn't help but laugh out loud. A 5th grade spirit pill? I'm dying of laughter. A 6th grade golden pill is treated like a treasure. Where did you get the courage to pretend to be so noble? The faces of the Thousand Swords sect disciples darkened. Al Shan's eyes widened as he shouted, What are you laughing at? Stop pretending to be calm. You're acting like you're eating 5th grade spirit pills every day. I'm afraid you can't even buy a 3rd grade pill. Qin Feng couldn't be bothered with these country bumpkins. He casually threw a few jade bottles over. What's the meaning of this? Al Shan caught the jade bottles and stared coldly at Qin Feng. Open it yourself, and you'll know. Qin Feng's expression was indifferent. The Thousand Shadow sect's disciples were angered, shouting at the same time. Senior brother Al Shan, open it in front of them. I don't believe there's a golden pill inside. There's something wrong with the North Sand Continent's cultivators. They like to be slapped in the face. Everyone be careful. There might be hidden weapons or poisonous gas in the jade bottles. Qin Feng was rendered speechless by the disciples' imagination. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming laughed even harder. Al Shan hesitated for a moment before gritting his teeth and saying, We're disciples of the South Flat Continent's Thousand Swords sect. Why would we be afraid of 3 North Sand Continent country bumpkins? I want to see what's in these jade bottles. Although he was a little worried, Al Shan still opened the jade bottles. He couldn't lose face in front of the 3 North Sand Continent cultivators. Instantly, a rich pill fragrance wafted out, stunning Al Shan and the rest. Senior brother Al Shan, this is a golden sage pill. Damn, this bottle is filled with golden spirit pills. This is a golden pill for a Saint King to break through to level 6. It's hard to find even with 1,000 gold. The Thousand Swords sect disciples could no longer remain calm. Al Shan was also shocked. However, in order not to embarrass himself in front of Qin Feng and the rest, he pretended to be calm. But when he opened the last jade bottle, he couldn't help but exclaim, Elemental elixir? This is a level 2 7th grade imperial pill. It can help a peak Saint King level 9 breakthrough to the Buddha Light stage. It's the elixir I urgently need. When the imperial pill was revealed, everyone's eyes fell to the ground. Although Al Shun had said that he could eat any golden pill and occasionally imperial pills, the truth was that he could only obtain grade 5 spiritual pills. However, in reality, he could only obtain 5th grade spirit pills. As for golden pills, they were all rare pills. Seeing the other party's reaction, Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief. He really thought that there were as many alchemists in the South Flat Continent as there were hairs on a cow, and that golden core imperial pills could be seen everywhere. It seemed like Al Shun and the rest were just bragging. Wen Yiming and Lin Hao were so happy that they couldn't close their mouths. They felt like they had vented their anger. Oomph. Just a few golden pills and imperial pills, and you guys are scared to this extent? How ignorant. Young Hero Qin, they are all cultivators from the South Flat Continent. They definitely won't be interested in your elixirs. Let's keep the elixirs and go on our way. Don't waste time with these country bumpkins. The two of them weren't as magnanimous as Qin Feng and started to make sarcastic remarks. This time, the Thousand Swords sect disciples couldn't retort. They weren't even angry. Instead, they smiled at Qin Feng. Hee hee. Brother Qin, are you really giving us these elixirs? Then we won't stand on ceremony. Al Shun seemed to have changed into a different person. There was no longer any trace of arrogance. His attitude was just like Qin Feng's lackey. This feeling was too great when Yiming and Lin Hao cheered in their hearts. Qin Feng didn't care about the bottles of elixirs. He said indifferently, if you guys are interested in those elixirs, you can take them. I don't lack a bottle or two anyway. Al Shun was instantly overjoyed. He hurriedly put the jade bottles into his storage ring. When he looked at Qin Feng again, his eyes were filled with awe and respect. Logically speaking, the North Sand Continent was the most backward place in the Divine Supreme Continent. It also had the most scarce cultivation resources. Al Shun couldn't understand. Qin Feng looked to be in his early 20s. Where did he get so many golden pills and imperial pills? Chapter 1654. Hee. Brother Qin is truly generous. May I ask where you got these pills from? Al Shun was a completely different person. He even used honorifics to speak to Qin Feng. When Yiming and Lin Hao stared at him in disdain, but he didn't care at all. He even grinned at them. The pills are naturally cultivation resources provided by the sect. I usually give too much, so I have leftovers if I can't finish them. Qin Feng said seriously. When Yiming and Lin Hao held back their laughter, Al Shun and his juniors believed him. They were still confused. Wasn't the North Sand Continent the place with the most scarce cultivation resources? What sect was so generous? They were even more generous than the Thousand Swords sect. Brother Qin, since we met, it's fate. Why don't we travel together? Al Shun couldn't wait to get rid of Qin Feng and the other two, but now he couldn't wait to please them. Oh, where are you guys planning to go? Qin Feng asked. I heard that there's a spirit vein in this secret territory. We're planning to find it. Al Shun said honestly. Qin Feng looked at Lin Hao. He didn't know about the spirit vein in the secret territory. Lin Hao was also confused. It was obvious that he hadn't heard of it either. Regardless of whether the spirit vein was real or fake, Qin Feng still wanted to travel with the Thousand Swords sect. His goal wasn't the spirit vein, but to find out more about the South Sand Continent. All right, Brother Al, tell us more about the South Sand Continent. We haven't been there yet. Qin Feng started a conversation. Al Shun revealed a proud expression. But when he thought of the pills Qin Feng had, he lowered his attitude. Actually, the South Sand Continent isn't much. It's just the second last cultivation place in the entire Divine Supreme Continent. The truly amazing place is the East Field Continent. The sect leader of the Kobe sect, King Void God, is the legendary #1 person in the entire Divine Supreme Continent. He's at the peak of the empty God realm and is about to break through to the true God realm. Then he would truly become a god. Speaking of King Void God, the Thousand Swords sect disciples all looked at him with admiration. Not only them, all the cultivators in the Divine Supreme Continent saw King Void God as their role model. They dreamed that they could reach his heights one day. Even though Qin Feng and Wen Yiming had not been in the North Sand region for long, they had heard of God King Su's name. Even when they were walking on the streets, they would hear cultivators talking about him. However, I'll say something that Brother Chin might not like to hear. The South Flat Continent's spiritual chi is indeed much denser than the North Sand Continent's. That's why there are many sects in the South Flat Continent and many talented cultivators. For example, the Northern Sand region's 5-star sects and clans are the limit, but the South Flat region has quite a number of 6-star sects and even a few 7-star sects. That's right, the South Flat Continent's territory is also vaster than the North Sand Continent's. The North Sand Continent can't compare to the South Flat Continent's spiritual herbs and all sorts of smithing materials. I can see that Brother Chin is also a cultivation genius for reaching the 8th stage, St. King stage, at such a young age. Why don't you consider coming to the South Flat Continent to develop yourself? Although Lin Hao and Wen Yiming were unhappy with Al Shen's words, they had to admit that what he said was the truth. Actually, the cultivators of the North Sand Continent yearned to cultivate in the other 3 continents. Only then could they reach a higher realm. Just like the Northern Sand Continent's 8 great supremes, they were the 8 most powerful people in the North Sand Continent. However, it was rumored that one of the 8 great supremes, the Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild's sect leader Long, had just stepped into the empty god realm. He was much weaker than the Eastfield Continent's Void God King. There was also a rumor that the strongest person in the Divine Supreme Continent wasn't the Void God King. This was because before him, there were a few true God Realm ultimate gods in the Divine Supreme Continent, and all of them came from the Eastfield Continent. The great Tao ultimate god who created the fortune of heaven and earth skill was one of them. However, no one knew where these people went after stepping into the true God Realm, and no one knew if they were dead or alive. Brother Al, can you bring me to the South Flat Continent? Qin Feng suddenly became excited. Now that he couldn't find a way to return to China, he didn't know how long he would have to stay in the Divine Supreme Continent. If he could go to the South Flat Continent, he planned to bring everyone there to develop. Al Shen smiled and said, Brother Qin, you must be joking. How can I bring you to the South Flat Continent? You have to know that the borders of the 4 continents are separated by arrays, and cultivators below the true spirit realm can't break through the arrays. Qin Feng was slightly disappointed. Is there any other way? Of course there is. If Brother Qin breaks through to the true spirit realm, you can freely enter the South Flat Continent and the West Sea Continent. However, the Eastfield Continent's arrays have higher requirements, and it seems that only those who have stepped into the Nihility God Realm can enter and exit. Qin Feng was slightly depressed. He had only stepped into the 8th level Saint King realm, and he didn't know when he could break through to the true spirit realm. Al Shun continued, There is also a normal method, and that is to get a recommendation from the largest chamber of commerce in your continent. This way, you can also go to other continents. However, the recommended cultivator can only go to a continent that is slightly higher than the local continent. For example, Brother Qin is a cultivator from the North Sand Continent, so you can only get a recommendation from the Chamber of Commerce to the South Flat Continent. As a cultivator from the South Flat Continent, I can only get a recommendation from the West Sea Continent. Qin Feng learned a lot from Al Shun, but after listening to Al Shun's method, Qin Feng became even more depressed. Not long ago, he had offended the vice president of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, Long Outyin. It was clearly impossible to get a recommendation from the Chamber of Commerce. With the strength of Brother Qin's sect, I believe it won't be a problem for you to get a recommendation from the Chamber of Commerce to the South Flat Continent. I will be there when the time comes. Al Shun's bootlicking was very clear. Qin Feng smiled bitterly in his heart, but he said calmly, All right, when I go to the South Flat Continent, I will definitely find Brother Al for a drink. That's for sure. If you don't find me for a drink, I will definitely be unhappy. All right, our Thousand Sword sect is in the Sand City of the South Flat Continent. It is a 5-star sect. When Brother Qin comes, just tell me my name, and I will bring you around the Sand City. Recently, a strange shop opened in the Sand City, and it sells some things that have never been seen before. When Al Shun said this, Qin Feng's heart stirred, and a bold idea appeared in his mind. Brother Al, what is this strange thing you're talking about? Al Shun took out a small thing from his pocket and said, Here, I bought this from that shop. The lady boss said it could light up. This thing is really magical. It can really light up at night. It should be a treasure similar to the heaven and earth yuan stone. However, this thing doesn't have spirit chi, and it doesn't look like a heaven and earth yuan stone. Qin Feng and the other two were attracted by the thing in Al Shen's hand. Lin Hao also couldn't understand what it was, but when Qin Feng and when Yiming saw it, their mouths twitched. Wasn't this the flashlight from Earth? Brother Al, you bought this thing in the South Flat Continent? Qin Feng suddenly became excited. Al Shen hesitated for a moment, but he finally gritted his teeth and handed the flashlight to Qin Feng. Brother Qin, do you fancy this treasure? Then I'll give it to you. Treat it as repayment for giving me and junior brother the pills. Chapter 1655. Qin Feng rolled his eyes. Why would he want a flashlight? He suspected that someone from Earth was in the South Flat Continent. Brother Al, you misunderstand. I'm not interested in this flashlight. Cough, cough. I'm interested in the shop owner. Al Shen was confused by Qin Feng, but he still said, that shop is in the South Flat Continent, Sand City. It's called the Immortal Moon Shop, and it sells all sorts of strange things. Oh, right, the lady boss is a little fairy. She looks like a poem or a painting. Qin Feng's mind buzzed. He already guessed who the lady boss of the Immortal Moon Shop was. It was most likely the great senior sister of Serenity, Hua Xianyu. Speaking of Hua Xianyu, Qin Feng had an ambiguous relationship with her. They first met at Devil Beast Mountain in Acropolis City. At that time, a three-eyed elephant boar almost killed them. The two fed each other blood and survived. Then, Su Ruo jumped off a cliff and was taken in by sect leader Jingxin. She became Hua Xianyu's junior sister. When Su Ruo was cultivating in Serenity, she was taken care of by senior sister Hua Xianyu. Qin Feng couldn't let Hua Xianyu stay in the South Flat Continent alone. Brother Qin, are you okay? Are you listening to me? Qin Feng suddenly woke up with a start when he heard Al Shen's voice. Brother Al, does the lady boss of the Immortal Moon Shop run the shop alone? How is she? Is Sand City safe? Will someone bully her? Qin Feng seemed to have changed into a different person, leaving Al Shen and Lin Hao confused. Wen Yiming, on the other hand, had guessed a thing or two. He could not help but frown. Brother Qin, do you know the owner? Lu Hao asked. It might be a friend of mine, but I can't be sure without seeing him. Qin Feng said. Al Shen became serious, so it's like that. Brother Qin, don't worry. Sand City is a public city in the South Flat Continent. It's controlled by many local sects and families. It's one of the safest cities in the entire South Flat Continent. As for the owner, he should be running the shop alone. His realm doesn't seem high. Knowing that Sand City was safe, Qin Feng let out a sigh of relief. However, he was still uneasy. A beautiful woman like Hua Xianyu would get into trouble sooner or later if she stayed alone in the South Flat State. Brother Aluminum, when you go back, help me pass a message to the owner of the Celestial Moon Pub. Tell her to wait for me. I'll definitely pick her up. Also, if it's convenient, please take care of the Celestial Moon Pub. Brother Qin, don't worry. With our friendship, this is just a small matter. Al Shen patted his chest and promised. But Qin Feng was not at ease at all. He had been in society for so long, and his ability to read people was very good. People like Al Shen, who agreed without hesitation, were more likely to be half-hearted. Eldest senior brother, there's someone ahead. A disciple from the Thousand Swords sect suddenly shouted. Everyone turned to look and saw a group of black dots a few hundred meters away from them. There was a considerable number of cultivators gathered there. Just now, they were busy asking questions, so they didn't notice that their surroundings had changed. In front of him was a lush grassland, and a river flowed by, sparkling and translucent under the sunlight. Brother Qin, I feel that the concentration of spirit chi here has skyrocketed, and with every few steps, the spirit chi becomes denser. Lin Hao was shocked. The others also noticed the situation. Al Shen suddenly ran toward the river and shouted excitedly, Spirit vein, that must be a spirit vein. After discovering the spirit vein, the disciples of the Thousand Swords sect chased after Al Shen like crazy. Qin Feng and the others were stunned for a moment, but they quickly followed. After a while, they arrived at the riverbank. This place was already filled with people sitting cross-legged on the riverbank, cultivating. Brother Qin, could this really be a spirit vein? Let's quickly sit down and cultivate. Lin Hao's face was flushed with excitement. When they arrived at the riverbank, the spirit qi was astonishingly high. He felt as if the blood in his body was boiling with every breath he took. When Yiming's dantian had already begun to swell, in such a short time, he even felt like he was about to break through. He subconsciously wanted to sit down on the riverbank to cultivate, but he was stopped by someone. Hey, which continent and which sector are you from? Kid, this place has already been reserved. Not just anyone can come and cultivate here. There were 7 or 8 people on the other side, and all of them were at the peak of the Saint King realm. One of them pushed Wen Yiming lightly, and he almost fell to the ground. What do you want? Qin Feng immediately lost his temper and stood in front of Wen Yiming. When they saw Qin Feng's powerful aura, they stopped, but their attitude was still arrogant and despotic. Yo, you're very arrogant, aren't you? You're not convinced, right? If you have the ability, then come and fight me. Qin Feng glared at them, and he willed the cloud-piercing arrow to hover behind him. Lin Hao also raised his spirits, ready to attack at any time. Brother Qin, stop, stop. Al Shun was shocked, and he hurriedly rushed over to dissuade them. Then he smiled at the people on the other side and said, Hee hee, brothers, we just arrived and don't know the rules here. Please don't take it to heart. By the way, we are all disciples of the Thousand Swords sect of the South Flat Continent. It shouldn't be a problem for us to cultivate beside the spirit vein for a while, right? Huh, are you kidding me? A mere South Flat Continent cultivator has the nerve to come out and embarrass himself? Hurry up and scram. Al Shun had looked down on Qin Feng's group because he was a South Flat Continent cultivator, and now he was being looked down upon by others. He was somewhat displeased, but he braced himself and asked, Brothers, may I know who has taken over this place? A cultivator with a face full of pockmarks shouted, Humph, don't be unconvinced. The spirit vein here has already been taken over by the disciples of the Eastfield Continent's God Spirit Mountain. Only cultivators from the Eastfield Continent or cultivators from the West Sea Continent's 6-star sects and above can cultivate here. Everyone else can scram. Qin Feng and Wen Yiming didn't know much about the other continents and didn't know what kind of sect the God Spirit Mountain was. Lin Hao's expression changed, and he said to the two of them in a low voice, Brother Qin, let's go. The God Spirit Mountain is a 9-star sect of the Eastfield Continent. It's definitely an existence that we can't offend. Qin Feng and Wen Yiming were shocked. In the North Sand Continent, the strongest sects were 5-star sects, and their young elders were already Saint King level 9, and their grand elders were Buddha Light realm experts. And what realm were the disciples of 9-star sects at? Qin Feng didn't dare to think too much. Hee hee, brothers, don't be angry. We'll leave now, right away. Al Shun knew more about the terror of the God Spirit Mountain than Lin Hao. He hurriedly gave a look and led the way. The few of them followed the spirit vein downstream, and there were many cultivators gathered here. They were all people who had been chased here. Sigh, they're really bullying others with their power. What are they? After walking far away, Al Shun finally dared to complain. Chapter 1656. There were many cultivators gathered in the lower reaches of the river. They were all chased here by the same fate as Qin Feng and the others. Although there was only a difference of a few hundred meters between the upper and lower reaches, the difference in the concentration of spirit qi was like heaven and earth. Some cultivators cultivated here for a while, then left to other places. Pill Monarch Qin, it really is you. It's great to be able to meet Pill Monarch Qin again. Suddenly, a group of people rushed over and greeted Qin Feng excitedly. They were the cultivators who broke the 9-dragon Great Array. There were not only Northern Sand Continent cultivators gathered in the lower reaches of the river. There were also many South Plateau Continent cultivators. Hearing the title Pill Monarch, many cultivators looked over in surprise. Brother Qin, are these your friends? They call you Pill Monarch? Al Shun asked. Qin Feng hurriedly gave the North Sand region cultivators a look and said with a serious expression, Hee, Because my sect has many cultivation resources, they gave me many pills. If I can't finish them, I like to give them to others. That's why everyone calls me Pill Monarch. This is completely different from the Pill Monarch title of Pill Monarch. Al Shun was enlightened. He didn't doubt Qin Feng's explanation. Honestly, Qin Feng was too young. If one were to say that he was really an alchemy king, Al Shun really wouldn't believe it. Hee. Pill Monarch Qin is right. That's exactly what I meant. Cough cough. Let's just call Qin Feng Brother Qin or Young Hero Qin for now. The Northern Sand Continent cultivators weren't stupid. They all realized that there were cultivators from other continents in this secret realm. If Qin Feng's identity as Pill Monarch was exposed, he would definitely be hunted down. Brothers, are you all right? Qin Feng looked at everyone gratefully. Qin Dan, Brother Qin, my junior brothers and I are fine. However, we got separated after entering the secret realm. What happened? Everyone was confused. Qin Feng explained that 9-dragon Great Array is made up of 9 teleportation arrays. Each array is a separate teleportation array. Therefore, people in the same array will be teleported together. After everyone understood the reason, they relaxed. They thought that there was a mistake in breaking the array and the other cultivators died. Now that they were in a hodgepodge of secret realms, as cultivators of the North Sand Continent, they felt extremely close to each other. After chatting for a while, someone suggested, Brother Qin, this spirit vein has been taken over by the people of the Eastfield Continent. It would be a waste of time for us to stay here. Why don't we form a team and go take a look? We might even find some treasures. In fact, many people had already planned to leave. Now that someone had taken a lead, dozens of people jumped out in agreement. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming also expressed that they were going to explore other places. However, Qin Feng was a little unwilling. He was very unhappy with the Eastfield Continent's people's attitude. Master, don't really leave. This is such a good spirit vein. You have to take it for yourself. Little Pig's voice rang out in his mind. Qin Feng grumbled. I want to take it for myself, but the cultivators of Divine Spirit Mountain are too powerful and hard to deal with. I didn't say that Master should sit on the shore and cultivate. That's something only an ignorant person would do. Qin Feng rolled his eyes. He felt like Little Pig was trying to find a way to insult him. Little Pig continued, since those bastards won't let Master and your friends cultivate, then Master should take this spirit vein. Qin Feng seemed to understand Little Pig's meaning. His eyes lit up. How? This spirit vein isn't big. We can store it in the astral space. Little Pig said. Qin Feng looked at the spirit vein again. This spirit vein was 5 meters wide and tens of kilometers long. It could barely be stored in the astral space. However, Qin Feng was instantly depressed. How was he going to move a river into the astral space? Master, you should expand the astral world space first, then set up a formation to let the spirit vein flow in by itself. Little Pig suggested a method. Qin Feng's eyes lit up. This method could really work. Although the astral space was a different world, Qin Feng had a formation to enter the astral space. He couldn't bring people in, but he could transport items in. Brother Qin, let's go. Lin Hao's voice suddenly rang out. Qin Feng was shocked. Cough cough. I'll cultivate here first. Why don't you guys go take a look? Everyone was stunned. They couldn't understand Qin Feng's thoughts. Brother Qin, you want to cultivate here? The spiritual energy here isn't as dense as the herb garden we found before. It's a waste of time. Lin Hao advised. Wen Yiming was also puzzled. Young Hero Qin, are you really going to cultivate here? Qin Feng couldn't explain why he stayed. He said firmly, I feel like I'm about to break through. I want to try my luck. Don't worry about me. Just come here to find me when the time comes. Seeing that Qin Feng insisted on staying to cultivate, many people left helplessly. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming stayed in the end. Although they felt that cultivating here was a waste of time, they wanted to stay with Qin Feng. Qin Feng couldn't enter the astral space now. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to explain to Lin Hao and Wen Yiming about his sudden disappearance. He threw the 20 million high-grade spirit stones that he had obtained from exchanging the primary transformation pills from the Holy King Exchange into the astral world. He threw 25 million spirit stones into the astral space, expanding the land to 25,000 square meters. After adding another 20 million spirit stones, the space expanded again. It only stopped when it reached 30,000 square meters. It's really a bottomless pit that eats spirit stones. Qin Feng couldn't help but complain. He realized that the development of the astral space consumed more and more spirit stones. The expansion range of the space wasn't as powerful as before. "Stop complaining, Master. Hurry up and steal the spirit vein," Little Pig reminded him. Qin Feng immediately put aside the spirit stones and began to try to transport the spirit vein. After some effort, he found that the spirit spring water in the river could really be transported into the astral space. However, the transportation required Qin Feng's external help. The spirit vein couldn't flow into the astral space on its own. Such a huge river. How long will it take to transport it? Qin Feng felt a headache coming on. Little Pig said, "Master, water flows to lower places. It's the same for spiritual energy." Qin Feng's eyes lit up. He already understood Little Pig's meaning. The spiritual energy flowed from a high concentration area to a low concentration area. As long as a simple spirit gathering formation was set up, the spirit spring water in the spirit vein would automatically flow into the astral space. This time, Qin Feng had to enter the astral space. He found an excuse to hide after bidding farewell to Lin Hao and Wen Yiming. With a slight thought, Qin Feng entered the astral space. The space inside had expanded a lot. The concentration of spiritual energy had also increased. It made breathing easier. Chapter 1657. 1. Waves of strange energy rippled out from the star world. The spirit gathering formation started to take effect. Qin Feng could see that the spirit spring water from the spirit vein was flowing into the star world. Whoosh! The spring water was like a tide, making Qin Feng excited. He waved his hand, and the golden phoenix landed on the ground, creating a several hundred-meter-long crack in the star world. Rumble! Qin Feng did not stop and started to dig a river to store the spirit vein. When the spirit spring water flowed in, it flowed into the river. "Brother Qin, where did you go? Why did you take so long?" After doing all the work, Qin Feng returned to the shore. He knew that it wouldn't be long before the spirit spring would be discovered, and he would have to stay by the shore with the other cultivators to prove his innocence. "Hero Qin, there's nothing to stay here. Why don't we find other northern sand region cultivators and go to the spiritual herbal garden? If we work together, we might be able to break the formation." When Yiming suggested, Lin Hao immediately raised his hands in agreement. "Brother Wen is right. We are wasting time here. If I can't break the spiritual herbal garden's array formation, it's better to stay in the garden and cultivate than here." Qin Feng understood what the two meant, but he could only persuade them. "Let's wait a little longer. I feel like I'm about to break through. We can't move around at such a crucial time." When Yiming and Lin Hao believed him, and could only continue to cultivate by the shore with Qin Feng. Although the spirit chi downstream was much less than upstream, the density was not bad. After cultivating for a while, the two's auras stabilized. Did you notice that the spirit spring water in the spirit vein has decreased? After an unknown period of time, someone among the cultivators downstream suddenly shouted. Everyone opened their eyes and started to discuss. "What nonsense are you talking about? How can the spirit spring water decrease? No one has drunk it before." It really seems to decrease. Although it's not obvious, the height of the spirit spring water has indeed decreased. When Yiming and Lin Hao did not think much of it, and thought that those people were seeing things. Qin Feng's heart tightened. He did not expect that someone would notice so quickly. However, the discussion quickly died down. After all, cultivation was the main thing, and no one would argue about whether the spirit spring water decreased or not. But after a while, someone shouted again. "Something's wrong. I'm sure that the spirit spring is really decreasing. I've purposely drawn a mark on the riverbank, and now the height of the spirit spring has decreased by several centimeters. This can't be fake. I made a mark too. What's going on? Oh no, could it be that this spirit vein has been completely consumed by those bastards upstream?" Why are you guys still standing there in a daze? Hurry up and cultivate, or else we'll all be gone in a while." Everyone did not understand the situation at all, and even pushed the responsibility to the Eastfield continent cultivators. Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed like he could steal a little more time. He glanced at the astral world with his consciousness. The deep river channel had already been filled with many spirit veins, and it could flow slowly now. "You bunch of ants, how dare you steal the spiritual spring water downstream?" An angry roar suddenly sounded, and dozens of cultivators flew over from upstream. The disciples who were cultivating in the lower reaches of the river all jumped up. There were a few dozen of them gathered together, and they were confronting the newcomer with cold expressions. "What do you mean by this? Are you looking for trouble? You've occupied the upper reaches of the river, and the spiritual spring water in the spirit vein is almost used up. Now you have the nerve to frame us? Don't think that you're great just because you're from the Eastfield continent and West Sea continent. You can't bully us like this." The two groups of people started cursing at each other from a few meters away. A person from the Eastfield continent's group walked out, and his cold gaze swept across the cultivators on Qin Feng's side. "All of you, shut up." The man looked to be in his early 30s. With an angry roar, his body exploded with an extremely strong aura. The cultivators on Qin Feng's side instantly felt like a mountain was pressing down on them, and their breathing became uneven. Qin Feng and Lin Hao were the strongest in the group, but they both revealed serious expressions. The young man on the other side had clearly stepped into the Buddha light realm and was possibly even stronger than Mo Li. The noisy crowd suddenly quieted down. The man took a few steps forward, and his cold gaze swept across the cultivators. "Let me introduce myself first. I'm the core disciple of a 9-star sect in the Eastfield continent, Xiahou Xing currently. I'm at the Buddha Light Realm 5. If any of you are unconvinced, you can stand out and challenge me." The people on Qin Feng's side gasped in shock. He was just a disciple of a sect, and yet he had already stepped into the Buddha Light Realm 5. This was even stronger than the little elder of a 5-star sect in the North Sand continent. Seeing that no one stepped out after a long time, Xiahou Xing's lips curled into a smile, and he continued, "Since no one is unconvinced, then listen to me obediently. The spirit spring water in the spirit vein has decreased. Who did this?" Everyone had anger in their hearts, but they couldn't release it, and their faces darkened. "None of you are willing to admit it? Then don't blame me for being impolite." Xiahou Xing's expression turned cold, and a powerful aura exploded from his body. The people on Qin Feng's side had already prepared themselves for battle. They didn't know that Qin Feng had secretly stolen the spirit spring water and thought that it was the Eastfield continent and West Sea continent cultivators who were looking for trouble. If that was really the case, then even if they submitted, it would be useless. They could only fight to the death. Wait! Seeing that the atmosphere was about to explode, Qin Feng suddenly stood out. "What right do you have to say that we stole the spirit spring water? We even suspect that you were the ones who stole it." Qin Feng's status among the North Sand continent cultivators was very high, and seeing him stand out, many people also stood out. "You're clearly the thief, crying thief. You're not willing to give up after occupying the upstream region. You actually want to kill us all. Do you really think that the North Sand continent and South Flat continent cultivators are easy to bully? At most, we'll fight to the death." The North Sand continent cultivators were filled with righteous indignation, while the South Flat continent cultivators grumbled in their hearts, thinking that they were seeking death. Why did they drag them down with them? Why don't you take a look at your status, to dare behave so atrociously in front of the Eastfield continent cultivators? You're simply courting death. Senior brother Xiahou Xing, you have the highest status here. Give the order and kill those ants. The people on both sides started arguing again, and Xiahou Xing's expression was so cold that it was about to freeze. "Stop shouting. What's the use of killing these ants? Can we find the lost spirit spring water?" The cultivators behind him all shut up, and Xiahou Xing continued. "You insist that you didn't touch the spirit spring water? All right, I'll personally check your storage rings. If there really isn't any spirit spring water, I won't pursue it." Chapter 1658. You want to see our storage rings? Dream on. Cut the crap. Aren't you here to cause trouble? If you want to fight, hurry up and fight. The North Sand Continent cultivators were instantly unhappy, and this time, the South Flat Continent cultivators also jumped out to express their dissatisfaction. Actually, Xiaoxing was really here to investigate the decrease of the Spirit Spring, and he wanted to check the storage rings to find out. But to the cultivators on Qin Fun's side, the other party wanted to steal the treasures in their storage rings. If you're not willing to let me check your storage rings, then it means that you're hiding something. How dare you steal from us Eastfield Continent and West Sea Continent cultivators? What a bunch of ignorant fools. Xiaoxing's patience ran out, and he was about to give the order to attack when he heard a scream from the crowd behind him. What's that? It's noon. The sun is shining brightly. Why is there suddenly fog? Save me. This fog is poisonous. Save me. A thick black fog floated down from the spirit vein, and unknowingly, it had already covered half the sky of the secret realm. A few cultivators escaped from the upper reaches, and their bodies were in the black fog, corroding and disappearing at a speed visible to the naked eye. Seeing this, the cultivators in the lower reaches drew in a breath of cold air, and even Xiaoxing's expression became nervous. Where did these demonic beasts come from, stirring up trouble here? Hurry up and show yourself. A few West Sea Continent cultivators did not realize the power of the black fog, and they drew their swords and charged in. They tried to find the hidden demon beast in the black fog, but the moment their bodies came into contact with the fog, their clothes made a sizzling sound, and in the blink of an eye, they were completely corroded. What the hell is this? Why can't I move? Save me. Hurry up and pull us out. The few West Sea Continent cultivators were all trapped in the black fog, and after their clothes disappeared, their skin and flesh started to corrode and crack, and heart-wrenching screams could be heard. The crowd was completely dumbfounded, and no one dared to go in and save them. The few West Sea Continent cultivators were not of low cultivation, and were all Sage King level 5 and above, but they could not resist the black fog at all. This black fog was truly terrifying. Senior brother, what do we do now? The God Spirit Mountain disciples looked at Xiaoxing in a daze, waiting for him to make a decision. Count yourselves lucky. Let's go. Xiaoxing did not hesitate at all. He glared at Qin Fun and the others, then immediately flew away on his flying sword. The moment he left, the crowd went into an uproar. The West Sea Continent and Eastfield Continent cultivators all started to flee. This black fog is really strange. Once we touch it, we will die for sure. Let's not stay here. Let's hurry up and leave. Qin Fun shouted, and the cultivators of the North Sand Continent and South Plateau Continent were startled as they hurriedly fled. The speed at which the black fog spread was extremely fast. In the time that everyone was stunned, it had already caught up with the crowd. The cultivators all fled on their flying swords, while some even took out their flying magic artifacts. Save me. Save me. Holy shit. The speed of this black fog is too fast. It has already caught up to us. If I want to go out, how do I get out of the secret realm? Soon, the cultivators who did not escape in time were engulfed by the black mist. After a series of blood-curdling screams, they were corroded to the point where not even their bones remained. Not good. The black mist is catching up. Brother Qin, Brother Lin, run first. Don't worry about me. When Yiming's strength was too low, so his speed of escape wasn't fast. How could Qin Fun and Lin Hao leave it behind? They each grabbed one of his hands and started flying. Actually, Qin Fun could totally enter the star world to hide. That way, he would not be afraid of the black mist corrosion. However, he could not bring anyone else into the star world. Qin Fun could not leave Lin Hao and Wen Yiming behind. Pill Monarch Qin, hurry and bring us out of the secret realm. This place is basically a trap. I also realize that there's actually nothing inside the secret realm. It's like a mirage. Those rare herbs are all trapped by an array and cannot be taken away. The spirit vein area is also a trap. To think that such a terrifying thing like the black mist would be hidden. Many cultivators of the North Sand Continent gathered around Gao Fei. It was Gao Fei who broke the array and brought everyone into the secret realm. Now that they wanted to leave, they immediately thought of Qin Feng. However, Qin Feng's mood was heavy. Like the other cultivators, he only cared about treasures after entering the secret realm. He did not look for the exit immediately. I don't know where the exit is either. Everyone, escape is more important. Once we shake off the black mist behind us, we'll look for the exit together. Qin Feng's words caused everyone to feel despair. The black mist covered the sky and covered the earth. Wherever it passed, not a single blade of grass would grow. The main thing was that the black mist speed was too fast. Cultivators below St. King level 4 had basically all died within it. If they continued to run like this, they would all die. Brother Qin, why don't we run towards the mysterious herb garden? That's where we came in. The exit might very well be nearby. Lin Hao suddenly reminded. Qin Feng's eyes lit up. He immediately changed the direction of his flying sword. He took the lead in front. Behind him were many cultivators of the North Sand Continent and South Plateau Continent. It was a formation of 8 immortals crossing the sea. After flying for a while, the group finally arrived at the herb garden area. However, during this escape, half of the cultivators died tragically within the black mist. What the fuck is this thing? Why is it still spreading? When Yiming looked at the dense black mist behind them, his expression was extremely grave. The group had already landed. In front of them was a sky full of black mist. Behind them was a herb garden filled with spiritual herbs. When they saw the various rare spiritual herbs in the herb garden, the eyes of many South Plateau Continent cultivators lit up. They charged over like madmen. "Don't move," Qin Feng shouted anxiously. However, he was a step too late. 3 cultivators touched the killing array and were instantly sliced into pieces. The group that was charging overstopped in their tracks. Their eyes were filled with terror and lingering fear. "There's an array in this herb garden. Everyone, don't mess around," Qin Feng shouted. The group hurriedly retreated. Thousand Sword Sex Alshun was also in the group. Seeing the black mist getting closer, he broke out in cold sweat. "What are you guys waiting for? Let's continue running for our lives," Qin Feng said. This secret realm is neither big nor small. More than half of the area has already been covered by the black mist. If we don't find the secret realm's exit, even if we continue running, it'll be hard for us to escape death. Brother Qin, what should we do? Do you have an idea? Don't keep us in suspense. Tell us quickly. Alshun was extremely afraid of death. He didn't have the demeanor of a South Plateau Continent's 5-star sex disciple at all. Qin Feng walked one round around the herb garden. Suddenly, his eyes lit up. "I know. The array in this herb garden is the array for the secret realm's exit. Everyone, quickly attack the array core with all your might." Chapter 1659. The South Flat Continent cultivators were shocked. They didn't expect Qin Feng to be an array master. How could the North Sand Continent have such a young array master? "Everyone, don't just stand there, come and help," Qin Feng shouted, and the cultivators came to their senses. They quickly split into 6 teams and attacked the 6 arrays at the same time. Everyone worked together. "Don't hide your strength, or we will all die here." Qin Feng attacked as he commanded the situation. The cultivators didn't dare to hold back. The black fog behind them was getting closer and closer. In another 15 minutes, they would be surrounded. "What are you doing here instead of running for your lives?" "Big Senior Brother, ignore them. They are cultivators from the North Sand Continent and the South Flat Continent. They don't even care about their lives and still want to snatch the spiritual herbs. What a bunch of ignorant people. Not good, that side is surrounded by the black fog too. Where can we escape to now?" A large group of cultivators escaped here. When they saw the black fog in front of them, despair rose in their hearts. The array in the herb garden was very strong. Qin Feng needed people to break it. He quickly shouted, "Don't just stand there, come and help." The few Eastfield Continent cultivators were unhappy and shouted at Qin Feng. "Brat, how can you say that? Look at your own status. Break my array. We're going to die soon. So what if we get the spiritual herbs in the herb garden?" Wen Yiming and Lin Hao couldn't stand the people from the Eastfield Continent and the West Sea Continent. They were all cultivators from the divine, supreme continent. What right did they have to feel superior? You are the ignorant ones. Do you really think we are breaking the array for the spiritual herbs? This garden is the exit of the secret realm. If we don't break the array, no one can leave alive. Ignore those arrogant people. Let them continue to run. I want to see where they can run to. The cultivators who came were stunned. Someone shouted, "Hey, kid, is what you said true? This is the exit of the secret realm?" Lin Hao shouted, "Believe it or not. Who has the time to play with you?" The cultivators were unhappy with Lin Hao's attitude. But now that they were in a life-and-death situation, they didn't want to let it go. "Big senior brother, since there is no other way out, why don't we try? Disciples of the Tianxian Gate, listen up. Break the array with all your might." The disciples of Axe Mountain have also joined the team to break the array. If that group of country bumpkins dare to play any tricks, it won't be too late to kill them then. Before long, more than half of the cultivators had joined the team to break the array. Qin Feng took a closer look. These people were indeed cultivators from the West Sea continent and Eastfield continent. At the same age, their cultivation realms were much higher than the cultivators of the North Sand and South Flat continents, and the martial techniques they used were much more exquisite. Rumble. For a time, loud noises rang out from all around the medicine garden. This huge commotion attracted many fleeing cultivators. When they figured out the situation, they immediately joined the ranks of the cultivators who were trying to break the array. "Brat, why hasn't this formation been broken yet? Are you messing with us?" It's over, it's over. The black fog has enveloped us from all directions. There's nowhere to run now." Seeing the black mist floating over, many cultivators panicked. Qin Feng was also burning with anxiety, but as the commander, he had to show a calm and composed demeanor. If even he panicked, then these cultivators would definitely be defeated. "We're all on the same boat now. What benefits do I get from lying to you? Do I not want to live anymore?" Qin Feng shouted. "I can feel that the array's is starting to loosen. If you don't want to die, then continue attacking. Don't hold back, or else you can all go to hell." These words jolted the crowd back to their senses. Many of the cultivators who had stopped attacking started to attack again. Loud noises filled the air. White fog rose from the medicine garden like a mushroom cloud after a rocket was fired. Qin Feng was shocked. It was only now that the Eastfield continent and West Sea continent cultivators used their full strength. Their powerful attacks completely suppressed the North Sand continent cultivators. Rumble. An extremely loud sound rang out. Everyone felt the ground shake violently, and they couldn't even stand properly. "It's broken. The array is broken. Everyone, hurry up and go in. We need to escape from this godforsaken place." Why is the medicine garden collapsing? The spiritual herbs are falling down too. Once the array was broken, everyone rushed in like a swarm of bees. This medicine garden was more than 1,000 square meters, and the center was collapsing. Some cultivators ran to snatch the spiritual herbs, but most of them were more concerned about their own lives. They were like headless flies looking for an exit. The entire scene was in chaos. "Where's the exit? There's no exit here. Brat, you dare to lie to us? Go and die." A group of people surrounded Qin Feng. At this moment, the black fog had already reached the edge of the medicine garden. Everyone was in a dangerous situation. Qin Feng glanced at the collapsed black hole. It was very similar to the black hole under the Nine Dragons array formation. Everyone jumped down. That's the exit. The crowd was stunned. No one dared to jump down. The black hole was so deep that they couldn't see the bottom. If not for everyone circulating their inner chi to defend themselves, they would have been sucked in. "This is the exit? Are you trying to fool a 3-year-old? If you want to jump, you jump first," someone shouted. Just as he said that, a few North Sand continent cultivators jumped into the huge hole excitedly. These people had broken through the Nine Dragons array formation with Qin Feng. They were very familiar with the black hole. Even the North Sand continent cultivators jumped. It should be real. Everyone follow. The people surrounding Qin Feng started to believe him. They didn't care about Qin Feng anymore. They all jumped down. Damn, are these people stupid? They really dare to jump down? Even if they aren't killed by the black fog, they will fall to their deaths. However, there were still many people who didn't dare to move. A few screams came from behind. A few cultivators were entangled by the black fog. Their bodies were instantly corroded into a bloody mess. Those who were still hesitating were frightened. They jumped down without thinking. Damn it! At most, they will fall to their deaths. It's better than being corroded to the point where nothing is left. Seeing everyone jump down, Lin Hao and Wen Yiming stood at the edge of the black hole and looked at Qin Feng anxiously. "Brother Qin, come quickly. Hero Qin, why are you in a daze?" The two of them jumped around anxiously. Qin Feng suddenly sent out a palm. A strong wind pushed them into the black hole. "You guys go down first. Wait for me at the exit." Lin Hao and Wen Yiming were filled with doubt. As they fell, they were still shouting Qin Feng's name. However, Qin Feng couldn't hear them at all. The black fog had already filled the entire herb garden. However, Qin Feng still didn't jump down. His thoughts moved slightly. Numerous golden lights pierced through the black fog and shot out. "Master, you're crazy," Little Pig shouted anxiously. Qin Feng carried the golden shield that the system rewarded him for collecting the primeval chaos 7 blades on his back. He quickly picked the spiritual herbs in the herb garden like a pangolin. Chapter 1660. Whoosh! When the black mist touched the golden shield, there was an intense corrosive sound that made one's scalp go numb. Little Pig jumped around anxiously in the system. "Master, you're crazy. Run, the golden shield won't last long." Qin Feng wasn't someone who would lose his mind at the sight of treasure. He stayed longer not only to pick the spiritual herbs in the herb garden, but more importantly, to steal more spiritual spring water. Now that he was in the secret realm, he could only use the astral space to transport the spiritual spring water. If he left this place, the bridge between the astral space and the spiritual spring water would disappear. He quickly glanced at the astral space. The river he modified was already half filled with spiritual spring water. The spring water surged and sparkled, making one feel relaxed and happy. Whoosh! The corrosive sound continued, and Qin Feng suddenly came back to his senses. The golden shield was a gold-quality spiritual shield. In just a few seconds, the thickness of the golden shield on his back had decreased by half. It was clear how terrifying the black mist was. Whoosh! Qin Feng didn't dare to be slow. He put on the golden rock celestial armor. He moved nimbly and quickly passed through the herb garden. He didn't care about the herbs used to refine spiritual pills and golden pills. The lowest herbs he picked were spiritual herbs and spiritual plants needed to refine imperial pills. Fire Cloud, Big Spirit Fruit, 7-star Spirit Replenishing Grass, Blood Ginseng Essence, Multi-Pleated Flower. Qin Feng was very excited as he looked at the abundant herbs in his storage ring. At this moment, Little Pig shouted anxiously, "Master, the golden shield has been completely corroded. If we don't leave now, it'll be too late." Whoosh! A series of sounds came from Qin Feng's body. He looked at the golden rock's celestial armor that was quickly disintegrating into golden dust. He felt heartache and fear. At this point, he didn't dare to stay any longer. Even if there were many more herbs in the herb garden that he wanted, he didn't have the life to pick them. Qin Feng leaped and fell into the black hole. Instantly, an extremely strong suction force appeared and forcefully dragged him down. Qin Feng wasn't worried. He knew this was the effect of the teleportation array. "Young hero Qin, you're finally out. Brother Qin, are you okay?" After falling for an unknown amount of time, he heard noises. Qin Feng looked around and saw that he was surrounded by a forest. It was very similar to the island environment in the Fallen God Sea. With the exception of Wen Yiming and Lin Hao, all the other cultivators had left. Only the cultivators from Divine Spirit Mountain remained. Occasionally, they would glance at Qin Feng's group of 3. "I'm fine. What is this place?" Qin Feng hurriedly asked. "It should be the eastern part of the Godfall Sea. It's tens of thousands of kilometers away from where we found the entrance to the secret realm," Lin Hao said. Qin Feng frowned. It would take quite a few days for him to return. However, he soon noticed Xiahou Xing's group and asked in a suppressed voice, "Why haven't the God Spirit Mountain cultivators left yet?" Lin Hao's expression was grave. "We don't know either. It's very likely that they're looking for trouble." Qin Fun and the other two started to worry. With their current strength, they were no match for the God Spirit Mountain's disciples. In other words, Xiahou Xing alone was enough to deal with the three of them. "If the three of you want to leave this place alive, then leave your rings of holding behind." Just as he was worrying, Xiahou Xing's icy voice rang out. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming looked at Qin Feng anxiously. They placed their hopes on him. In the past, no matter what happened, Qin Feng would always be able to avoid danger. However, facing the 6 God Spirit Mountain cultivators, Wen Yiming and Lin Hao weren't confident. As disciples of a 9-star sect in the East Field Continent, you came to steal the storage rings of us North Sand Continent cultivators. Aren't you afraid of being laughed at? Qin Feng forced himself to calm down. Xiahou Xing laughed coldly. "I don't care about your treasures at all. However, I do need the spirit spring water and herbs in the secret realm." When Yiming and Lin Hao didn't understand what he was saying. However, Qin Feng's heart sank. He realized that Xiahou Xing had guessed that he had picked the spirit herbs and stolen the spirit spring water. "I don't understand what you're saying." Qin Feng purposely stalled for time. His mind was racing as he tried to think of a way to escape. "Oomph. You can trick others, but you think you can trick me too? You, a North Sand Continent cultivator, can actually see through the formation of the herb garden and find the eye of the formation to escape. This isn't something an ordinary person can do. Since you know formations, it wouldn't be hard for you to use some methods to steal the spirit spring water. Also, everyone came out long ago, but you only came out now. If you didn't pick the spirit herbs, what else could you be doing?" Xiahou Xing's words made sense. It seemed like if they didn't hand over the storage rings today, they definitely wouldn't be able to leave. Qin Feng also thought of moving the items in the storage rings to the Star World. However, he quickly rejected this idea. He could tell that even if Xiahou Xing didn't find the spirit spring water and spirit herbs, the three of them wouldn't be able to leave here alive. "You guessed correctly. I stole the spirit vein. I even picked large amounts of spirit herbs to concoct king pills from the herb garden." Qin Feng suddenly said. Even the God Spiritual Mountain disciples couldn't remain calm at this moment. Spirit vein and spirit herbs to concoct king pills. They wouldn't be able to see these things normally. When Yiming and Lin Hao looked at Qin Feng in disbelief, they couldn't understand what he was thinking. Only now did the two of them know that the spirit vein was stolen by Qin Feng. However, this wasn't important. How could Qin Feng admit to this? This time, everyone was definitely going to die. All right, it's good that you admit it. Hurry and hand over the things. I promise to let the three of you live." Before Xiahou Xing finished speaking, Qin Feng suddenly stepped on his flying sword and turned into a flash of light. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming were stunned on the spot. They even forgot to run. Qin Feng left on his own? He left them behind? "If you want the things, come get them yourself. If you dare to harm a single hair on my 2 brothers, I won't give them to you even if I die." Qin Feng's voice came from afar. When Yiming and Lin Hao were enlightened. "If you want to catch up to young hero Qin, you have to get past me first. Brother One, these Eastfield Continent bastards have long wanted to kill us. It doesn't matter if we die. We have to buy more time for Brother Qin. As long as he's alive, he'll take revenge for us sooner or later." The two of them looked at each other, their expressions determined. Xiahou Xing casually sent out 2 palms. When Yiming fell to the ground, Lin Hao was also heavily injured. "Oomph. 2 ants dare to block my path. Look after them. I'll go catch them." The flying sword flashed. Xiahou Xing chased in the direction Qin Feng escaped in. His speed was extremely fast. After chasing for a few hundred kilometers, he didn't even see Qin Feng's figure. Chapter 1661. It was impossible for Xiahou Xing to find Qin Feng because Qin Feng hid in the astral space not long after he ran out. The astral space had changed a lot. Not long ago, the space had expanded due to the consumption of spirit stones. A spirit vein flowed slowly, and the spiritual energy became extremely dense. However, the spirit spring in the spirit vein no longer increased. It seemed that the formation lost its effect after leaving the secret realm. Little pig, what was that black mist? In that secret realm, it felt familiar. Although Qianfen escaped unscathed, he was still scared when he thought of the black mist in the secret realm. Little Pig showed a rare, solemn expression. Master, I suspect that secret realm is a different space. It doesn't belong to the divine mainland. Plus, Master felt familiar with the secret realm, so it might be the same as the astral space. Qianfen was shocked. He understood what Little Pig meant. You mean the secret realm was created by the owner of the system? Although I can't be 100% sure, there's a 70% chance it's true. Qianfen was worried. Even when he came to the divine mainland, he had never felt this anxious because of the hedonist sovereign system. He had been in the divine mainland for half a year and hadn't found the owner of the system. He thought there was no system here. He didn't expect to find such a powerful secret realm. Qianfen compared the secret realm to his astral space. The secret realm was bigger and had more spiritual energy. It even had a rare garden and a spirit vein. It was obvious that the owner of the system who created the secret realm was very powerful. At least that person's system level was much higher than his. Master, let's not think about this for now. Let's think of a way to save your two companions. Little Pig sighed. Qianfen hurriedly threw away his messy thoughts and sat cross-legged by the spirit vein. He willed the heaven and earth cauldron to fall in front of him. According to his plan, he had to break through as soon as possible and save Lin Hao and Wen Yiming. In fact, he had thought of many ways, but they were all rejected in the end. With the absolute power of the divine spirit mountain cultivators, other than fighting them head-on, everything else was just empty talk. A large pile of rare and precious herbs were scattered around his feet. Qianfen planned to break through in a short time. He obviously couldn't do it with normal pills, so he decided to take another risk and use the method of swallowing 3 golden essence pills to speed up his cultivation. Now, that Qianfen was a Saint King, 8th level Saint King. According to the standard cultivation method, he would take the golden yuan pill to break through. However, he planned to directly consume the essence transformation pill needed to break through to the Buddha light realm. Moreover, just the essence transformation pill alone was not enough. He had not even taken the pills, but he already felt that he was about to break through to the next realm. Qianfen raised his head and swallowed 3 elemental transformation pills. He also swallowed bone cleansing pills and other supplementary pills. One must know that the energy transformation pills contained extremely violent spiritual energy. This was a pill that only cultivators at the peak of the 9th level of the Saint King realm would dare to take when breaking through to the Buddha light realm. Qianfen was only an 8th level Saint King, and he had eaten 3 of them in a row. If he did not swallow other supplementary pills, there was a 99% chance that his body would explode and he would die. Rumble. Although he was already prepared, when the 3 energy transformation pills entered his body, the violent airflow immediately exploded, giving Qianfen a shock. His body instantly swelled up, turning into a ball. There were 3 waves of spiritual energy in his body like giant dragons, and it was as if they were about to burst his body. Qianfen did not dare to delay, and he hurriedly circulated the Heart Sutra of the Creation chapter. A small whirlpool formed in his dantian, and like a bottomless pit, it crazily absorbed spiritual energy. Crackling sounds came from his bones, as if they were being remodeled. His meridians were also expanding, and they became transparent under his skin. Roar! The oppressive feeling made Qianfen want to die, and he howled to the sky. After a while, a loud sound suddenly came from his body. His swollen dantian seemed to have exploded, and the oppressive feeling disappeared instantly. His body immediately floated up, as if he was about to fly into the sky. Congratulations, Master! You have broken through to the early stage of the 9th level of the Saint King realm. Little Pig shouted excitedly. Qianfen suppressed his joy. He knew that he would be seeking death if he charged out at this realm. If he wanted to defeat the people from the Divine Spirit Mountain, he still had to continue breaking through. This breakthrough did not seem to consume too much of the medicinal energy, or it could be said that the power of the 3 energy transformation pills was beyond Qin Feng's imagination. After a short period of comfort, Qin Feng once again felt 3 violent airflows boiling in his meridians, and his body was about to explode. Chapter 1662. Bang, bang, bang. As time passed, loud noises came from Qin Feng's body. Qin Feng went to the cell phone's most user-friendly and ad-free website. The 3 violent air currents from the energy pill finally calmed down. When Qin Feng checked his realm, he was shocked. He had reached the peak of the 9th level Saint King. The energy pill could no longer break through to the Buddha light realm. Moreover, this extreme method of breaking through had a drawback. After using a certain pill in advance, taking the same pill again would greatly reduce the effect. For example, Qin Feng was supposed to use the energy pill to break through to the Buddha light realm. However, the energy pill could no longer satisfy his needs unless he used a higher level pill. Master, are you going to continue breaking through? Aren't you afraid your body won't be able to handle it? Little Pig could read Qin Feng's mind. Qin Feng pouted. I'm a man with more than a dozen women. When have I ever been unable to handle it? Little Pig rolled its eyes speechlessly. Qin Feng regained his serious expression. Although he spoke casually, he felt a lingering fear when he thought of the pain he had to go through during the breakthrough. Master, breaking through to the Buddha light realm will result in a lightning tribulation. You have to prepare yourself. Knowing that Qin Feng wouldn't stop breaking through, Little Pig reminded him. Qin Feng almost forgot about the lightning tribulation. He recalled the scene of Yin Xianhai breaking through to the Buddha light realm in Flower City. It was earth-shattering. There were 3 lightning tribulations and a total of 18 lightning bolts. If Qin Feng hadn't set up a few thunder storage arrays in time, Yin Xianhai would have failed to break through. Time was of the essence. Qin Feng quickly threw out array flags and set up 6 thunder storage arrays. Then, he put on the Golden Rock Sovereign armor and swallowed the 3 profound sky pills. Little Pig was speechless. It was definitely the first time he saw a cultivator at the peak of the 9th level Saint King eat profound sky pills to break through. Moreover, he ate 3 at once. Wasn't he courting death? However, the pills melted in his mouth and started to take effect. Little Pig felt that there was no need to say anything now. Roar! Instantly, Qin Feng let out a soul-stirring roar. Hearing it, Little Pig felt pain all over his body. If the medicinal effect of the energy pill was strong enough, then the 3 profound enlightenment pills were several times stronger. Qin Feng felt 3 balls of fire burning fiercely in his body. His blood was boiling and his bones were cracking. It was an inhuman torture. Master, your body is about to explode. Hurry and force out some spiritual energy, Little Pig said anxiously. Qin Feng felt like his brain was on fire. His mind was buzzing, and he couldn't hear what Little Pig was saying. Rumble. Qin Feng's body suddenly burst into flames, and he immediately became a man of fire. His body tilted to one side, and he fainted in the spirit spring. Master, Master, don't scare Little Pig. Are you all right? Master, after an unknown period of time, Qin Feng slowly opened his eyes. He discovered that he was still in the astral world. This meant that he was not dead. He hurriedly looked at his body. His skin seemed to have changed. It was whiter and more tender than a newborn baby's. The violent airflow in his body had calmed down a lot, but it was still incomparably strong. Master, you're not dead. As soon as he woke up, he heard Little Pig's excited cry in his head. Qin Feng's old face darkened. You wish for me to die every day, right? How could that be? I even shed a few tears for Master just now. Little Pig pouted. Don't fall in love with me. We're not of the same species. It won't end well. The 2 bickered. This was a way to celebrate their narrow escape from death. However, Qin Feng quickly became serious. He felt his dantian expanding, a sign that he was about to break through. All right, Little Pig, how did I survive? Qin Feng asked while absorbing the spiritual energy in his body. It was the good fortune chapter that saved Master. When you fainted, the good fortune chapter automatically activated and helped Master absorb the violent energy. Qin Feng was amazed, as expected of the divine continent's strongest cultivation method. However, he quickly became depressed. There were a total of 5 cultivation methods, but he only found the first one in the cave abode in Fu City's 5 Elements Mountain. He didn't know where the other 4 were. Rumble. While they were talking, a loud noise suddenly came from Qin Feng's body. Little Pig said in shock, "Master, be careful. You're about to break through to the Buddha light realm. The lightning tribulation is coming." Qin Feng didn't need to say anything. He was already prepared for it. The sky above the astral world changed. The originally chaotic sky suddenly gathered a large number of clouds. Dark clouds covered the sky, and thunder rumbled. Looking up, one could see lightning flashing in the clouds. Crackle. The first lightning tribulation fell without warning. Qin Feng cried out in pain and almost fainted again. Fuck! Is this the lightning tribulation of the Buddha light realm? Something doesn't feel right. Qin Feng had seen Yin Xianhai break through to the Buddha light realm. The first wave of lightning tribulation wasn't strong, and he could resist it with his realm alone. Because of this, Qin Feng only slapped his palms twice above his head, forming a barrier of air. He thought it was enough to resist the lightning, but he was almost killed by it. "Oh no, Master, you seem to have triggered the 9 changes true lightning. You gotta die," Little Pig cried. Qin Feng was just struck by lightning, and he was holding back his anger. He scolded, "You stupid pig, why do you curse your master to die every day?" Little Pig wasn't in the mood to joke. Its expression was extremely serious. "Master, I'm afraid you won't survive this time. Do you know what the 9 changes true lightning is?" "What?" Qin Feng's expression also became serious. He realized the seriousness of the situation. Legend has it that the Divine Supreme Continent has the 9 great lightning tribulations. It's because the heavens are jealous of geniuses. To kill genius cultivators, they send down lightning tribulation. The 9 changes true lightning is one of them. When this lightning tribulation appears, the cultivator will die without a doubt. Qin Feng was shocked. "Don't joke with me. Haven't there been any cultivators who have avoided the 9 changes true lightning?" Little Pig pondered for a moment. "There should be. It's said that cultivators who can trigger the 9 changes true lightning only appear once in 1,000 years. The Divine Supreme Continent has existed for tens of thousands of years, but only a dozen or so genius cultivators have appeared. It's unknown whether those cultivators are dead or alive, but there are rumors that they're still alive." Rumble. As he spoke, the second lightning tribulation descended. Qin Feng didn't dare to be careless this time. He hurriedly gathered his qi and slashed at the sky. The sword energy transformed into a golden dragon that soared into the sky. Several thigh-thick lightning bolts descended and instantly shattered the sword energy. Crackle. Qin Feng didn't have time to slash again. The lightning exploded on his body. The golden rock heavenly sovereign armor instantly shattered into pieces. This was a gold-grade spiritual armor, but it couldn't withstand a single blow from the 9 changes true lightning. The lightning slowed down and finally disappeared. Qin Feng had withstood the second lightning tribulation. However, he was extremely solemn. This time, there were a total of 9 lightning tribulations. The further it went, the more powerful it became. He didn't have many trump cards left. Would he really die in this lightning tribulation? "Master, quickly put on all the spiritual armors in the system and storage ring. If you don't use them now, you'll die." Chapter 1663. Qin Feng didn't have time to think. With a slight movement of his mind, he sent out a large number of divine armors. Some of them were rewards from the system's mission, while others were looted from the storage rings of other cultivators. Crackle. Several lightning bolts struck Qin Feng's head. The palm-shaped air mass was instantly destroyed. A loud noise came from his body. More than a dozen spiritual armors of different grades exploded at the same time. Rumble. The power of the lightning bolts hadn't completely disappeared. They landed on Qin Feng's body. Even though he had already circulated his qi to protect himself, he still couldn't help but spit out a few mouthfuls of blood. Master quickly escaped from the astral boundary. The lightning tribulation should disappear. Little Pig's eyes suddenly lit up. Qin Feng forced himself to block the third lightning bolt. However, when he thought about the 9 lightning bolts that had yet to fall, his heart sank. What will happen if the lightning tribulation ends midway? Qin Feng asked. Master's realm will forever be stuck at the 9th Saint King realm. You won't be able to step into the Buddhist light, Little Pig said solemnly. Qin Feng's eyes shone with determination. If he was stuck at the Saint King realm forever, he would rather be struck to death by the lightning tribulation. In the divine continent, the Saint King realm was like an ant at the bottom of the hierarchy. He couldn't protect his friends and women anymore. This time, Qin Feng rested for a long time, but no lightning bolts fell. This allowed him to catch his breath. But he did not dare to be careless, because the night before the storm, the wind and the waves were always calm. Qin Feng knew that he was about to face a destructive attack. Looking at the 6 lightning storage arrays around him, Qin Feng regretted it. He thought that the 6 arrays would be enough to absorb the power of the lightning tribulation. Now, it seemed like it wasn't enough. However, Qin Feng didn't have time to set up more arrays. If the lightning tribulation fell halfway, he would die for sure. Rumble. Just as he was getting nervous, the sky that had been silent for a long time suddenly exploded. This time, 3 lightning bolts fell at the same time. Half of the sky in the astral boundary was lit up. Little Pigs first stood on end. Qin Feng hurriedly threw out the array flags, and the 6 lightning storage arrays around him were activated. Crackle. The lightning bolts suddenly scattered 10 meters above Qin Feng's head and fell towards the 6 lightning storage arrays. These lightning storage arrays were more complete than the ones Qin Feng had helped Yin Xianhai set up previously, and they could store more lightning source energy. Even so, the 6 lightning accumulating formations were instantly filled, and a small amount of lightning still fell on Qin Feng's body. Puff! Qin Feng spat out a few more mouthfuls of blood, and rays of silver light shot out from his body. Under this ferocious lightning strike, he actually activated the Vajra incantation and revealed his silver blood true body. The Vajra esoteric art was a supreme defensive technique that Qin Feng had obtained through the system's lucky draw. It had a total of 9 levels, and now that Qin Feng had broken through to the 2nd level, the Silver Blood Avatar, he was invincible against opponents in the True Energy realm. However, in the Divine Continent, the True Qi realm was obviously not enough. The lowest level here was the Immortal Qi realm. Rumble. The lightning strikes did not stop, and the effects of the Silver Blood True body were not as desired. The silver light on Qin Feng's body quickly dimmed, but suddenly there was a loud sound. The silver light disappeared, and his skin became blood red, looking very frightening. What's going on? Qin Feng was confused. Master, the Vajra esoteric art has broken through to the 3rd level, the Scarlet Blood Demon body. Master is now invincible against opponents in the Immortal Qi realm, Little Pig explained. Qin Feng was not too surprised. He was currently at the peak of the Holy King realm and was in the process of breaking through to the Buddha Light realm. If the Vajra esoteric art could break through to the next level, he would be able to withstand the fierce attack of the 9 changes true lightning. However, Qin Feng knew that it would be impossible for the Vajra esoteric art to break through again in a short period of time. Qin Feng quickly understood the effects of the Scarlet Blood Demon body. When the demon body was activated, demonic beast blood would appear in his body, making his body as strong as a demonic beast super defense. This effect was somewhat similar to the Blood Demon armor, but the Blood Demon armor had long been destroyed along with the other spiritual armors during the 3rd lightning strike. Otherwise, he could activate the pure spiritual blood and strengthen the demon body. Rumble. The thunder continued for a while, then gradually subsided. Qin Feng had withstood the first 6 lightning strikes, but he had used up almost all of his trump cards. Even the Scarlet Blood Demon body had dimmed. Master Quickly set up the lightning, accumulating formations, or you will die for sure, Little Pig reminded. Actually, Qin Feng had the same plan. The first 6 lightning strikes were already so ferocious, he didn't have the confidence to withstand the last 3. Even if there was a high chance of sudden lightning strike while setting up the formations, Qin Feng had no other choice. Swish, swish, swish. Countless formation flags were thrown out. Qin Feng gave it his all, setting up the lightning, accumulating formation, and the defense formation at the same time. If there was a formation master present, they would definitely be shocked by his technique. This kind of formation method was probably something no one in the entire northern Sand Continent had ever tried. What was worth celebrating was that Qin Feng successfully set up the formations at the same time. But the bad news was that just as he finished setting up the 2 lightning, accumulating formations and the 2 defense formations, thunder roared above his head, and the last 3 lightning strikes fell at the same time. Crackle, crackle. The sound was even louder than before, and it felt like the entire astral world was shaking violently. Little Pig was so scared that his pink fur turned white, and he stuttered, It's over. And Master is going to die. Rumble. The lightning struck, and Qin Feng didn't even have the chance to bicker with Little Pig. The 2 lightning accumulating formations he had just set up were instantly filled up, and the 2 grade 3 defense formations were instantly destroyed. Qin Feng had already fainted, and he could almost hear the sound of thunder in his ears. His body was soaked in the spirit spring, and he was continuously struck by the lightning strikes. There wasn't a single part of his body that was unharmed, and it was as black as charcoal, still emitting smoke. He couldn't hear Little Pig's cries at all. Just as his body was about to explode into pieces, a ball of white light suddenly shot out from his body, enveloping him. Rumble. The lightning struck the ball of light, but it was absorbed. Qin Feng was like a weak baby protected by the light, and he fell asleep peacefully. The last 3 lightning strikes lasted for an unknown amount of time, and finally stopped. The dark clouds in the sky of the astral world dissipated, and everything returned to normal. The surroundings fell into silence. The wind blew across the grass, and the spirit spring surged. It was as if nothing had happened. Master, wake up. You're actually not dead. Master, Little Pig continuously called out to Qin Feng. Finally, Qin Feng slowly opened his eyes. He looked at the familiar astral world, and the corners of his mouth curved into a clean smile. What bullshit, sure kill lightning. This young master is a supreme, hedonistic son, and even the heavenly Tao can forget about killing me. Qin Feng's body was extremely weak, but his words were filled with arrogance like 9 dragons soaring into the sky. Little Pig cried tears of joy. It came out of the system, jumped onto Qin Feng's head, and scratched. You damn pig, you kept cursing me to die, and now you're disappointed? Qin Feng laughed and scolded. Little Pig scratched even harder, and it almost pulled out Qin Feng's hair. You heartless thing, if you really die, I'll die with you. Qin Feng rolled his eyes. He felt that there was something wrong with Little Pig's words. Chapter 1664. After fooling around for a while, Qin Feng checked his body. His body was shrouded in a layer of red aura, which was a sign that he had stepped into the Buddhist light. Qin Feng also learned from Yin Xianhai that the Buddha light realm had a total of 9 transformations. Every time one broke through a transformation, a new kind of Buddha light would appear. From 1 to 9 transformations, the colors of the Buddhist light changed from red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, purple, black, and white. This breakthrough allowed Qin Feng to advance from the Saint King 8th stage to the Buddha light 1st stage. He felt that the aura in his body had undergone a qualitative leap, becoming incomparably rich and powerful. He thought back to the life and death battle with the Red Flower Hall not too long ago. At that time, it was difficult for him to deal with Tu Chi, who had changed his Buddhist light. However, if Tu Chi stood in front of him now, Qin Feng was confident that he could kill him with one strike. After understanding his body's condition, Qin Feng stood up and was stunned by the scene in front of him. The spiritual spring that originally filled up the river had now dropped by more than 10 centimeters. It seemed that the spiritual energy consumed for this breakthrough was very shocking. That's right, little pig. How did I survive? Qin Feng thought of another important question. Little Pig said uncertainly. Master fainted at the time and was about to die under the 9 changes true thunder, but a light barrier appeared in his body. I suspect that the light barrier was formed by the creation of heaven and earth scripture. Master still remembers the 9 deadly thunder tribulations I mentioned, right? Legend has it that the creator of the creation of heaven and earth art, the venerable god of the great Tao, also triggered one of the deadly thunder tribulations, and he seems to be the one who survived. The more Qin Feng listened, the more amazed he felt. It seemed like he had to speed up his search for the remaining 4 chapters of the creation of heaven and earth art. Are you saying that every time I make a breakthrough, I'll encounter the 9 changes true thunder? Qin Feng suddenly realized something, and his expression changed drastically. Little Pig had a helpless expression on his face, but there was an evil smile hidden in the depths of his eyes. Master, you're right. That's exactly how it is. Otherwise, why would it be called a sure kill lightning tribulation? People like you have aroused the jealousy of the heavenly Tao, so you must be killed in the cradle. Qin Feng almost fainted when he thought of how terrifying the 9 transformations true thunder was. He even had the thought of giving up on cultivation. A month had passed since Qin Feng entered the astral world. The exploration of the Godfall Sea was also coming to an end. If the cultivators didn't leave the island soon, the ferocious beasts would tear them apart. Senior brother, let's stop looking. That Qin brat must have escaped. As expected, the cultivators from a northern sands region are all treacherous ants. To think that they would abandon their companions to flee for their own lives. It is only a matter of time before they die. It's time for the treasure hunt in the fallen god sea. If I don't leave now, I'll be in danger. Why don't I kill those 2 fellows and return to the sect? On the island where Qin Feng had disappeared, a group of people discussed incessantly. They were the disciples of the Eastfield Continent's god Spirit Mountain. In this month, they didn't do anything but search for Qin Feng on the island. There were 2 figures in the team of 6. They were the captured captives, Lin Hao and Wen Yiming. Now that things had come to this, even the 2 of them felt a little hopeless. A month had passed, but Qin Feng still hadn't appeared. Could it be that he had really escaped? Brother Lin, you haven't known young hero Qin for long, so maybe you don't understand him. He definitely wouldn't abandon us, but he hasn't appeared for a month. I'm afraid that something bad has happened to him. When Yiming looked depressed, Lin Hao sighed. If that's the case, then let's go accompany him. It's just that I'm unwilling. No one can take revenge for the 3 of us. The 2 of them were filled with despair as they dragged their heavy footsteps forwards. The team suddenly stopped. Xiao Xing stared at the 2 of them viciously. To find that Qin guy, I didn't do anything for a month. This fallen god sea treasure hunt has been a waste. Since your friend doesn't care about friendship, then I will vent my anger on you. I will make the 2 of you die a horrible death. Xiao Xing's patience was completely used up. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Although he was tens of meters away from the 2 of them, he only needed to raise his hand, and he could kill Lin Hao and Wen Yiming. But Xiao Xing wouldn't do that. He had suppressed his anger for a month. He wanted to torture the 2 of them bit by bit and release the anger in his heart. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming knew that this moment would come. When it came, they were very calm. Brother Lin, that guy's a pervert. If I'm killed by him, I won't be able to rest in peace. Attack me, Wen Yiming said in a low voice. Lin Hao also had the same thought. He gave Wen Yiming a look, meaning for Wen Yiming to attack as well. The 2 of them would kill each other. This was the most perfect way to die. Just as they were about to attack, 2 screams came from the back of the team. In order to prevent Lin Hao and Wen Yiming from escaping, Xiao Xing walked in front with 3 disciples. There were 2 more disciples behind them. What's going on? Everyone immediately turned around and were instantly stunned. The 2 disciples at the back stood straight on the spot. Their eyes were wide open as if they had encountered something extremely terrifying. Their eyes were filled with shock and terror. There was a slight cracking sound. Under everyone's gaze, a bloody wound appeared on the foreheads of the two disciples. In the blink of an eye, the wound spread all the way to their lower bodies. Boom! The explosion was intense. The two of them were directly blown into two. The four halves of their corpses scattered on the grass, causing the other three disciples to scream. Who? Who killed my junior brother? Xiao Xing's heart also skipped a beat. Those two disciples were masters who had stepped into the mid-ninth realm of Saint King Realm, yet they had been killed in such a silent manner. When Yiming and Lin Hao looked at each other, both of them thought of the same person. Their eyes showed shock and joy. However, there were still some doubts. If it was really Qin Feng, his strength had increased too terrifyingly. Boom! No one responded, but a golden light descended from the sky. The three disciples were already in a state of panic, scurrying around in fright. Xiao Xing stood still and casually slapped the sky. The huge palm print collided with the saber chi, causing the airflow in the sky to become turbulent. All of you calm down. It's just a cultivator at the early Buddha light realm. Look at how scared you are. If this gets out, you'll be laughed at. Xiao Xing was indeed a disciple from a 9-star sect. He quickly calmed down. The three people who were fleeing also calmed down. If it was just a cultivator at the early Buddha light realm, they really didn't need to take him seriously. Brother Lin, Brother One, I've made you suffer. The familiar voice seemed to come from far away. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming were overjoyed. Then, a gust of wind swept through the island. In just a few breaths, the hurricane came to the crowd. Haha, it turns out to be you. That's great. I was looking forward to your return. Chapter 1665. Before his voice died away, he heard a loud noise. When they saw that familiar figure, their eyes welled up with tears. Not long ago, they had guessed that Qin Feng had met with misfortune. Now that they saw that he was fine, they felt an indescribable excitement. Brother Qin, why are you back? Hurry up and leave. Wait until your strength is higher before you take revenge for us. Yes. Young hero Qin, leave quickly. Brother Lin and I will help you stall them. As soon as they woke up from their joy, the two of them started to worry again. Hearing this, Xiao Xing hurriedly sent out a palm strike. Last time, he had let Qin Feng escape. This time, he would not allow the same thing to happen again. It looked like a simple clap, but it immediately set off a turbulent airflow. When Yiming and Lin Hao could feel a strong pressure just by standing behind Qin Feng. Qin, don't even think about escaping this time. I'll catch you with my own hands. You think too much. I'm here to kill you. Qin Feng let out a furious roar. Bursts of aura shot out from his body. He stood his ground without retreating and punched forward. The sound of thunder and the roar of a tiger exploded. There was even sword chi hidden within the ferocious fist wind. Qin Feng hadn't used this special grade Thunder Tiger flying sword fist in a long time. He didn't expect it to become so powerful. Rumble. The moment the two powerful attacks collided, it set off an earth-shaking commotion. Xiao Xing's expression changed drastically. When he saw several red sword chis shooting at him, he hurriedly dodged. You stepped into the Buddhist light transformation? How is this possible? Puff! Qin Feng was struck by the palm wind and was forced to retreat. When he was caught by Wen Yiming and Lin Hao, he could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. The two of them looked at Qin Feng with worry and shock. When he left, he was only a Saint King 8th level. In just a short month, he had broken through 5 levels consecutively and stepped into the Buddha light first form. Young hero Qin, are you okay? When Yiming asked, Qin Feng quickly suppressed the chaotic aura in his body and shook his head at the two. In the exchange just now, he could have avoided Xiao Xing's attack. However, if he had done so, the ones injured would have been Lin Hao and Wen Yiming. Lin Hao might be able to survive, but Wen Yiming, a first-tier Saint King, would definitely lose his life under that palm. However, Qin Feng was also surprised. He had underestimated Xiao Xing's strength. She had originally thought that this person had at most stepped into the 3rd transformation of Buddha light and was only slightly stronger than Mo Li. But now it seemed that this person had at least stepped into the intermediate stage of Buddha light. Humph, you really did steal the spirit vein. Otherwise, you wouldn't have broken through to the Buddhist light realm in a month. Xiahou Xing suddenly understood and glared at Qin Feng with a murderous gaze. You're right. I stole the spirit vein and used it to cultivate and break through. Now that I've used up all of the spirit veins, what can you do about it? Qin Feng's aura had mostly recovered, and he deliberately said those words to anger Xiahou Xing, thinking about how an entire spirit vein was used up by an ant from the North Sand region. The 3 God Spirit Mountain disciples were enraged. When they heard their senior brother say that Qin Feng had entered the first change of Buddhist light, they no longer had any misgivings in their hearts. This was because among the 3 of them, 2 had entered the first change of Buddhist light, and 1 had entered the second change of Buddhist light. Stinking brat, you are simply wasting resources. You dare to use the light spirit spring. Today, I will use your blood to atone for your sins. The 3 of them looked at each other and suddenly launched a fierce attack on Qin Feng. Wen Yiming and Lin Hao unsheathed their swords to help, but before they could enter the battlefield, Qin Feng had already swung his fist. Thunder and tiger roars resounded once again, along with the sharp hum of a sword. The 2 first change of Buddhist light disciples at the front suddenly froze. Their eyes widened, revealing a look of disbelief. Their clothes were torn, revealing the sword scars underneath. Countless sword scars covered almost every part of their bodies. The sword scars were extremely deep, as if they had pierced through their entire bodies. In just a few breaths' time, the 2 disciples' bodies were scattered all over the place, scattering into bits and pieces. Hiss! Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Even when Yiming and Lin Hao were shocked. Cultivating in the divine continent, every cultivator's hands were stained with blood. Xiahou Xing had killed countless people, but he had never seen someone kill as cruelly as Qin Feng. You dare to kill my junior brother? I will kill you. The remaining disciple suddenly went crazy. He unsheathed his sword and stabbed forward like a madman. With a shake of his sword, thousands of ferocious sword rays shot out. Wen Yiming and Lin Hao felt the threat of death and hurriedly shouted for Qin Feng to be careful. However, they saw Qin Feng standing with his hands behind his back. Seeing that he was about to be enveloped by the sword qi, the disciple revealed an evil smile. Ha! The Northern Sand Continent is indeed a bunch of ants. Go and die. Junior brother, come back quickly. Xiahou Xing's expression changed drastically as he hurriedly shouted. However, he was still a step too late. Qin Feng suddenly slapped his palm, and a fire blade shot out. The flame was suffused with a faint purple glow, and its aura was extremely ferocious. The sword qi was instantly swallowed by the sea of fire. The disciple was holding a pink spiritual sword, but was also burned to ashes by the purple flames. His body, along with it, disappeared in an instant. Walala! The flame was still burning in midair. The purple flame instilled a sense of fear in everyone's hearts. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming were dumbfounded. Previously, Qin Feng killing 2 9th-level Holy King cultivators was enough to shock them. However, now that he had killed 2 first change of Buddhist light disciples and even a second change of Buddhist light disciple, it was a little unbelievable. Xiahou Xing was also shocked by Qin Feng's strength, but he quickly focused his attention on the ball of purple flames. This is the 5th earth fire in the divine continent. The purple flame? Purple flame? Young hero Qin is too powerful. Wen Yiming was pleasantly surprised. Looks like the news from the Pill City is true. Qin Feng really has the purple flame. Also, he didn't give the purple flame to Senior Su. It's still with him. Lin Hao mumbled to himself. The 3 of them were stunned by the appearance of the purple flame. This type of rare fire was limited, and each one of them could only be found by chance. Xiahou Xing quickly regained his senses, and his eyes were filled with greed. Ha! I can't believe I can see the purple flame. Brat, as long as you hand over the purple flame to me obediently, I can forget about the spiritual vein and spiritual grass, and let the 3 of you live. Qin Feng laughed coldly. Ha! You're thinking too much. Today, it's not you who will let us go. It's us who will not let you go." His words were so domineering that it ignited the flames of war in Lin Hao and Wen Yiming's hearts. Although the two of them still felt that even if they joined forces, they would not be able to defeat Xiahou Xing, but Qin Feng's unyielding spirit made them respect him. "Oomph. Don't think that you're so powerful just because you killed a few of my junior brothers. In the end, your strength is still at the early stage of the Buddha light stage. I've already stepped into the fourth stage of the Buddha light stage, and I'm a mid-stage Buddha light stage cultivator." Xiahou Xing announced his cultivation level, intending to pressure Qin Feng. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming's expressions were solemn. They knew very well the difference between the early stage and the mid-stage. It was like a chasm. "I don't care what your cultivation level is. Since you dare to kill me and my brothers, you must die." Rumble. With a roar, Qin Feng swung the golden phoenix in his hand. A several hundred-meter-long golden sword energy condensed into a giant dragon, hovering above Xiahou Xing's head. Chapter 1666. Qin Feng held nothing back with this strike. The surging blade, Qi, created a huge gale, causing Lin Hao and Wen Yiming to be dumbfounded. "Umph! You overestimate yourself." Xiahou Xing's expression did not change much. He shook his hand, and a spiritual sword flew out of his sleeve. The long sword shot into the sky, leaving behind a golden streak of light. It was a gold-grade flying sword. Rumble. The flying sword had an unstoppable aura and instantly dispersed the blade Qi dragon. Qin Feng's second strike landed. The blade Qi condensed into a surging sea of clouds. This was the first form of the mixed element 7 blades, Cloud Slash. Whoosh! The blade Qi clouds enveloped the battlefield. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming's vision was blocked, and they could not see the battle clearly. Qin Feng stood in the clouds and saw a streak of golden light shooting towards him. He hurriedly slashed out 2 more times. Sea of Fire, Sky of Ice. The second and third forms of the mixed element 7 blades were unleashed at the same time. A scene of ice and fire appeared in the clouds. These are all fancy moves. It seems that the cultivation of the northern sand continent is indeed behind. I'll show you true strength. Xiahou Xing's cold laughter came from the clouds. Unknowingly, he was already standing in front of Qin Feng with his flying sword. The long sword pierced through the air. The movement was simple, but Qin Feng felt sword Qi coming from all directions. There was no way out. The fourth form of the mixed element 7 blades, Thunder Collapse. Qin Feng gritted his teeth and did not retreat. He waved his blade, and numerous lightning bolts fell from the sky. Xiahou Xing's expression changed slightly, but he quickly recovered. The flying sword in his hand sped up and pierced Qin Feng's right arm. Rumble. The lightning landed on Xiahou Xing's head. He casually slapped out with his palm, and the lightning suddenly stopped. It spiraled above his head and exploded. Your blade technique is not bad, but it's a pity that you haven't mastered it. You want to injure me with this bit of power? What a joke. Qin Feng fell to the ground after being struck. Xiahou Xing's laughter spread throughout the island. The cloud of blade Qi from the cloud slash quickly dissipated, and his vision became clear again. Brother Qin, are you all right? You evil person, watch my sword. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming panicked and were about to attack. Qin Feng hurriedly called for the two of them to stop. They were no match for Xiahou Xing, and they might not even be able to withstand a single blow. Rumble. Unable to care too much, Qin Feng endured the pain and attacked again. Shadowless Blade. This saber brought with it a strong gust of wind. The saber wind blew in all directions, but the saber Qi was nowhere to be seen. However, only Wen Yiming and Lin Hao couldn't see it. Xiahou Xing sneered and leaped into the air, passing through the dense net of saber Qi and landing his palm on Qin Feng's chest. Bang! The seemingly soft palm gave off a loud sound like a landslide. Qin Feng spat out a mouthful of blood in midair. He felt as if his internal organs had shifted positions. This sword skill is not bad. You haven't mastered it yet either. Or perhaps your realm is too low, and you're like a clown when you use it in front of me. The more Xiahou Xing fought, the more arrogant he became. He completely crushed Qin Fan in terms of cultivation level. Even if Qin Fan used a few tricks, they wouldn't be of much use. Qin Feng realized how powerful a cultivator at the intermediate stage of the Buddha light stage was. This Xiahou Xing was countless times more powerful than Mo Li, who was at the third transformation of the Buddha light stage. They were simply on two different levels. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming panicked and were about to attack again. In order to stop the two, Qin Feng leaped into the air as soon as he landed. This saber slashed down, forming a dense net of saber wind. This was the 1,000-thread slash that he had secretly learned from the Equal Heaven sect. Xiahou Xing casually glanced at the sky, and his lips curled into a smile again. He waved his hand, and the golden flying sword shot into the sky. Suddenly, a golden light flickered in the sky. The flying sword was so fast that Qin Fan was dazzled. Bang, bang, bang. There was a chaotic sound in the sky, and the dense saber qi quickly disappeared. Qin Fan had already expected that the 1,000-thread slash wouldn't be able to injure Xiahou Xing. His goal was only to temporarily hold him back. With a thought, a black net of electricity landed on the ground. Xiahou Xing's expression changed, and he finally revealed a serious expression. Crackle, crackle. The Star Sage 1,000-thread lightning net had already trapped Xiahou Xing, and black lightning surged down. Xiahou Xing immediately circulated his qi to block it, but the lightning was stronger than he had expected. It instantly broke through the air barrier around him, and his clothes exploded. Numerous bloody wounds appeared on his skin. What the hell is this? Break from me. Xiahou Xing was enraged. He grabbed the flying sword and stabbed it out. The ferocious sword qi created a whirlwind. It was only now that he revealed his true strength. Rumble. The sword qi and lightning collided, and the Star Sage 1,000-thread lightning net was knocked into the air. Xiahou Xing immediately took advantage of this gap, and his figure shot towards Qin Fan like an arrow. Stinking brat, you want to die? I'll fulfill your wish. Xiahou Xing was completely enraged. The murderous intent on his body seemed to solidify. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming could feel it even from several hundred meters away. They even thought that Qin Fan would be killed, and their hearts burned with anxiety. Master, be careful. Little Pig couldn't help but warn. Qin Fan's expression was grave. He knew the terrifying power of Xiahou Xing's attack better than anyone else, but he still stood in place. He didn't dodge, nor did he make any moves to counterattack. Seeing that the sword qi was about to pierce Qin Fan's throat, Xiahou Xing's lips curled up. But in the next second, his smile froze on his face. He seemed to sense an extremely dangerous power, and he hurriedly retreated. It's a trap. Xiahou Xing cursed inwardly, but he was one step too late. Thunder boomed in his ears, and several bolts of lightning fell from the sky. They were dozens of times more powerful than the black lightning of the Star Sage 1,000-thread lightning net. What is this? This can't be the lightning strike you triggered. Xiahou Xing's expression changed dramatically. He no longer had that fearless aura. Suddenly, a dazzling golden armor appeared on his body. It was a gold-grade spiritual armor. The lightning fell. The golden armor was like a thin layer of paper, instantly shattering into pieces. Xiahou Xing didn't have time to dodge, and he was blasted from the ground into the air. What is that? What a powerful lightning attack! Lin Hao and Wen Yiming were dumbfounded. In the battlefield, dark clouds covered the sky, and thunder boomed everywhere. It looked like it was going to destroy heaven and earth. This sudden explosion of lightning was the 9 changes true lightning that Qin Fan had encountered not long ago. At that time, a few lightning strikes had been stored by the lightning storage formation, and Qin Fan planned to use them for future breakthroughs. But now that the situation was critical, he released the lightning tribulation to deal with Xiahou Xing. I'll let you have a taste of the sure-kill lightning tribulation. Qin Fan's lips curled into an evil smile. He'd been struck by the 9 changes true lightning. and now he was using it to deal with Xiahou Xing Rumble. The lightning formed a sea, covering Xiahou Xing's body. He hurriedly took out all the treasures and spiritual armor in his storage ring to save his life, but those powerful equipment became vulnerable under the 9 changes true lightning. Chapter 1667. The 8 lightning arrays in the astral space were all released, and the thunder lasted for more than 10 minutes before stopping. Xiahou Xing's body was long gone, blown into pieces and scattered everywhere. For a long time, Lin Hao and Wen Yiming were still in a daze. They didn't dare to move, deeply afraid that the terrifying lightning tribulation would appear again. Qin Fan complained in his heart. Even Xiahou Xing, who had 4 changes of Buddha aura, couldn't withstand the 9 changes of true thunder, but it appeared when he broke through the first change of Buddha aura. His path to the heavenly Tao was so difficult. Brother Qin, Xiahou Xing is dead? He should be dead. I can't see him. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming finally came to their senses, but the shock in their eyes had yet to dissipate. Qin Fan sat under a tree. This battle against an enemy 3 levels higher than him had consumed a lot of inner qi. Don't worry, Xiahou Xing is already dead. Qin Fan comforted. The two heaved a long sigh of relief. Although they were full of doubts about Qin Fan's realm and the sudden appearance of the lightning tribulation, they didn't ask much when they saw Qin Fan closing his eyes to recuperate. They stood guard for Qin Fan like 2 guards. After resting for a full day, Qin Fan's inner qi finally recovered by more than half. Brother Qin, are you all right? Seeing Qin Fan open his eyes and stand up, the two hurriedly surrounded him. Qin Fan waved his hand and said, I'm fine. By the way, how long have I been away? Qin Fan had been staying in the astral space to break through, so he didn't know how much time had passed outside. When Yiming said with some surprise, Young hero Qin, did your body leave any sequelae? You've been away for a month. Have you forgotten? Qin Fan looked embarrassed. It was not easy to explain the astral space to the two. A month? Does this mean that this God-Fall Sea adventure is over? Yes, Brother Qin. Let's go back now, or we won't be able to catch the Dragonrise Chamber of Commerce's airship. Lin Hao said. Qin Fan immediately frowned. He thought a serious problem. Now that he had become enemies with the Dragonrise Chamber of Commerce, how could he go back? Brother Lin, is there any other way to go back other than the Dragonrise Chamber of Commerce's airship? Qin Fan asked. After some thought, Lin Hao said, occasionally, there will be airships of other chambers of commerce passing through the Godfall Sea, but it depends on luck. If we are unlucky, we might not even a year. Can't you use your own flying Dharma artifact to return? That's even more impossible. You have to know that there are many regions in the Godfall Ocean with strange energy. Ordinary flying ships are unable to fly over those regions. They will be sucked into the ocean and destroyed. Lin Hao's expression was solemn. Qin Fan was at his wit's end. It seemed like he could only return on the Dragonrise Chamber of Commerce's ship. He didn't have the time to wait for the other chambers of commerce's airships. Moreover, the beasts were migrating back in large numbers. When that time came, these islands would become extremely dangerous. It took them 5 to 6 days just to fly back to the island where they had discovered the secret realm. Fortunately, they managed to catch up with the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce's return ship. They had already switched to another airship. The airship that came here had encountered a unicorn sea lion and was sunk. However, before Qin Fan boarded the ship, he put on a shape-shifting mask and changed into Xiao Feng's appearance. Everyone, line up and board the boat. Don't crowd. The 3 ladders were guarded by disciples of the Chamber of Commerce. Every cultivator had to go through a check before boarding the ship. What was the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce up to? Why is the investigation so strict? I heard that someone ran away on the way here. The branch president, Long Ao Yin, is hunting for him across the entire continent. You're talking about Pil King Qin, right? Sigh. Pil King Qin achieved the title of Pil King at such a young age. His cultivation realm is also outstanding among his peers. It's a pity that he offended the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce. I'm afraid he'll have to run for his life. Qin Feng and the other two were in one of the teams. Wen Yiming and Lin Hao's palms broke out in cold sweat when they heard everyone's discussion. Qin Feng appeared much calmer. He had long guessed that Long Outyin wouldn't give up just like that. That was why he changed into Xiao Feng's appearance. Although his identity was exposed at Red Flower Hall, Qin Feng had just killed Tu Qi and Mo Li and the others on the island. He believed that Red Flower Hall's disciples wouldn't come to the Fallen God Sea to capture him. Which sector are you from? Soon, it was Qin Feng's turn. The Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce's guards had fierce expressions. Before Qin Feng could speak, Lin Hao hurriedly laughed. Brothers, he's a disciple of our Xianyuan Lin family. He was with me when we came here. Have you forgotten? There were more than 10,000 cultivators who came to explore this time. How could the people from the Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce remember who was who? The two guards compared the portraits in their hands, then waved their hands and said, "All right, you may board the ship." The three of them heaved a long sigh of relief. However, just as they stepped into the cabin, they broke out in cold sweat again. The Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce's investigation, this time, was indeed thorough. Apart from the guards at the bottom of the ship's ladder, Long Outyin personally oversaw the cabin. There were 20 to 30 people who came in with Qin Feng. Those cultivators were also shocked when they saw Long Outyin. It was rumored that this branch president was a powerful cultivator who had stepped into the late-stage, true spirit realm. This was the first time they had come into contact with such an expert at such a close distance. "Greetings, Senior Long." Junior Su Jin of the Chu Mountain sect greets Senior Long. Without exception, all the disciples who boarded the ship greeted Long Outyin. Long Outyin stood with his hands behind his back, completely ignoring everyone's greetings. His old eyes were wide open as he swept his gaze across the crowd, not letting even a fly go. "Greetings, Senior Long. The three of us are from the Lin family of Xianyuan." "Greetings, Senior Long." Soon, it was Qin Feng's group's turn. Lin Hao took the lead and greeted Long Outyin. "Wait." Long Outyin, who had been silent all this while, suddenly spoke, giving the crowd a fright. Lin Hao and Wen Yiming immediately stopped in their tracks, their bodies covered in a layer of cold sweat. Long Outyin's gaze skipped over the two of them and landed on Qin Feng. "Your aura is somewhat familiar. What's your name?" "Lin Feng." Since he was impersonating a disciple of the Lin family of Xianyuan, Qin Feng changed Xiao Feng's name to Lin Feng. Long Outyin's expression changed, and he suddenly sent a palm strike. The three of them were shocked. Wen Yiming and Lin Hao were about to draw their swords to attack, but Qin Feng was one step ahead and threw a punch at Long Outyin. Rumble. The fist and palm collided, and Qin Feng took 3 steps back. However, he realized that he was not injured. Long Outyin had not used his full strength at all. Qin Feng's thoughts raced. He realized that Long Outyin was only suspicious of him, but did not dare to confirm his identity. "Senior Long, what do you mean by this?" Qin Feng pretended to be angry, and he even released the aura of the first change of Buddhist aura. Long Outyin did not care about Qin Feng's anger, but after sensing Qin Feng's realm, he raised his eyebrows. The person he was looking for was only a level 8 Saint King a month ago. How could he have stepped into the first change of Buddhist aura in a month? "Give each of them a cloud elixir," Long Outyin said coldly. Immediately, a disciple came forward and gave the elixirs to Qin Feng and the other two. Chapter 1668. Wow, it's a forming cloud pill. "Thank you, Senior Long." Qin Feng received the pill and pretended to be overjoyed. When Yiming and Lin Hao came to a sudden realization and quickly copied him. Long Outyin shook his head when he saw how useless the three were. With Qin Feng's identity as a pill king, why would he care about a forming cloud pill? "All right, go in quickly. Don't block the way." The Longting Merchant Association's guard shouted, and everyone immediately entered the cabin. The three successfully boarded the ship. To be safe, they stayed in the cabin and didn't go out. Qin Feng helped Lin Hao and when Yiming refined the pills they needed. In just half a month, when Yiming broke through 2 levels and became a 3rd stage Saint King. Lin Hao didn't break through again, but he had stabilized at 1st stage of Buddha Aura. He only needed one opportunity to enter 2nd stage. The flying ship was about to reach the shore, and many cultivators got off the ship. They came from different cities in the northern Sand Continent, so they chose the nearest place to leave. Young Hero Qin, that's Immortal Spirit's city. When Yiming suddenly pointed outside the window and shouted in surprise. Qinfen also recognized the land across the shore. It was the city he ruled in the Divine Continent. It had been more than half a year since he came to the Divine Continent, and Qinfen had been to many places. However, he had deep feelings for Immortal Spirit City. After all, he stayed there for the longest time and spent a lot of effort to build Immortal Spirit City. By the way, Brother One, you said Immortal Spirit City is at war? Qinfen remembered something important. When Yiming frowned. When I met young Hero Qin, I just came out of Immortal Spirit City. There was indeed a war there, but I don't know if it's over yet. Qinfen was a bit worried. He guessed that there were still some sects from the Divine Continent in Immortal Spirit City. Those people were probably in deep trouble. Moreover, Qinfen had made countless enemies, so he needed a place to hide. Immortal Spirit City had become his ideal place again. Young Hero Qin, Brother Lin, I plan to take a look around Immortal Spirit City. Just as Qinfen made his decision, the system notification rang in his head. Ding! Hedonist Sovereign System has issued a quest. Save Immortal Spirit City. Quest time limit, 3 months. Successfully completing the quest will result in the system receiving 1 million Hedonist points and 1 Energy Star Stone. If the quest is failed, the astral world will be closed. Qinfen was stunned. He felt that the number of missions issued by the system had decreased a lot since he came to the Divine Continent. Master, because your Hedonist Sovereign rank is continuously increasing, there are fewer and fewer missions, but each mission is getting more and more difficult, and the rewards are getting better and better, Little Pig explained. Qinfen came back to his senses and heard Wen Yiming's excited voice. Great! I'll go with young Hero Qin. Lin Hao's expression was troubled. Brother Qin, I've been out for too long this time. I'm afraid I won't be able to follow you to spiritual Immortal City. Furthermore, the 4 junior martial brothers who went treasure hunting with me were all killed. I have to return to the sect to report this. Qinfen patted his shoulder and said, All right, I'll come find you when I have time. Or, Brother Lin, you could go to Spirit Immortal City to find me. If I'm not there, you could go to Flower City to find the Huaxiao Chamber of Commerce. The 2 of them said their goodbyes to Lin Hao. Although they had not known each other for long, they had experienced life and death situations together, and they had a friendship that had gone through life and death together. When disembarking, the inspection was not as strict. Qinfen and Wen Yiming stepped onto their flying swords from the deck of the spaceship and rushed towards Spirit Immortal City. Who are you people? There's a war going on here. It's best for unrelated people not to enter. As soon as they reached the entrance of Spirit Immortal City, Qinfen and Wen Yiming were stopped. There were more than 20 soldiers standing guard outside the city gate. Qinfen scanned the crowd and realized that they were all ordinary people who hadn't even stepped into the Immortal Qi realm. How dare you stop young Hero Qin? If you don't move aside, don't blame us for being impolite. Wen Yiming had stayed in the Divine Continent for a long time and knew that this was a place where the strong preyed on the weak. If you weren't ruthless, others would walk all over you. More than 20 fully armed soldiers immediately surrounded them and pointed their spears at the 2. However, from their trembling hands, it was obvious that they were very afraid. Ever since he saw that these guards were ordinary people, Qinfen didn't take them seriously. He said indifferently, My friend and I are cultivators. You're no match for us. Hurry up and move aside. The leading guard's voice was nervous, but he still didn't move aside. I know you 2 are cultivators. Just now, you came on a flying sword, but our Jama nation also has a celestial venerable. Now that this city has been taken down by celestial venerable Feng and his people, if you don't leave, celestial venerable Feng won't forgive you. In the Divine Continent, There were hundreds of billions of humans. Although the spiritual energy here was dense and suitable for cultivation, not everyone could break through the threshold of cultivation. In fact, there were even more ordinary people on this continent than cultivators. Other than the large sects, there were also many countries. However, these countries usually chose to build in wastelands that lacked spiritual energy. This was because these places weren't favored by the cultivation sects and families, so it wouldn't attract disputes between cultivators. When the divine continent merged with the divine continent, it became a place with extremely little spiritual energy. No wonder it attracted the attention of other countries. Where's your king? Bring me to see him. Chinfa didn't care about celestial venerable foam. With his current Buddha's aura first transformation, even if he wasn't the top existence in the northern sand continent, he was still above average. The guard's face turned cold, and he shouted, "His Majesty the King's status is so high. How can you see him just because you want to? Our Jama nation is different from other countries. We have a cultivator in charge. If you don't leave, I'll send a signal to ask Celestial Venerable Foam to come out." Seeing that the other party wasn't moved by force or persuasion, Chinfan's patience ran out. He casually slapped out with his palm. Suddenly, a gust of wind appeared in the surroundings. The guards were shocked and were blown into the sky by the whirlwind. These are all ordinary people. Let's spare their lives. We'll go to Immortal Spirit City to take a look first. Then, we'll find the king of Jama Nation and ask him to leave Immortal Spirit City. If he doesn't listen, then we'll use force. Chinfan told Wen Yiming about the plan. Wen Yiming nodded in agreement. If he had to kill a group of ordinary soldiers without any strength, he really couldn't bring himself to do it. Immortal Spirit City had changed greatly. Most of the houses had collapsed and were on fire. It was a messy scene after a war. There weren't many people in the city. Most of them were Jama Nation soldiers who had formed teams to search for the enemy. When they saw Qin Fun and Lin Hao, they wanted to attack. However, they were easily dealt with by the two. In the end, Qin Fun brought Wen Yiming to where Immortal Spirit's sect was. They didn't see Jama Nation's soldiers here. However, there was a group of people guarding the entrance. Oh no, Jama Nation's people are here again. It's two cultivators. Quick, call Senior Brother Fang Zheng and the rest over. I'm afraid we can't handle them. You two stop. If you dare to come forward again, don't blame us for being impolite. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.